Station's indie team has been making a lot of headways in regards to his his internet circuit, talking to different people about his time, his stint at PlayStation. There's been a lot of back and forth. Did Jim Ryan stab Shuhei Yoshida in the back? Was Shuhei Yoshida maybe incompetent in some type of way while he lost his job? A lot of stuff we're going to parse right here, try to make sense of it all. I'm going to use my Fortune 500 experience because you got a lot of people talking about this on the internet that don't know what they're talking about, and they're trying to parse this and they're chopping this all up. But we're going to hit this with a scalpel so you can understand what's going on. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, MM2K Gaming, back again with another episode of Quick Dose. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in the video game news. And man, oh man, do we have a special one for you today. But do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we're dropping these doses. And check that bell, make sure it's selected to all. So there is no confusion on what information of ours or what content of ours you're going to get access to. All right, let's talk about it. So Shuhei Yoshida is making the rounds. He's talking to a lot of people. There's been a lot of controversy happening because of these talks. And you got fanboys flipping and flopping everywhere. You got fanboys that want to see PlayStation go the way of the dodo bird, sitting there saying, see, PlayStation is in trouble. Ha ha ha, Jim Ryan. You got other people that are saying, oh, no, Jim Ryan's a saint and he did everything great. And no. Maybe Shuhei was a little bit incompetent, but as always, truth is always somewhere in the middle. Now, let's be honest and let's be transparent, because there are things that have been happening in number as it relates to PlayStation leadership. Not too long ago, we kind of had this happen, and it even had your boy confused, right? All right, so what is this? Okay, in May of last year, there was a new leadership structure formed at Sony Interactive. What was that new leadership structure? Well, not Shuhei Yoshida, Nishino, and Hideki Nishino and Herman Holst were awarded CEO positions within SIE. And Hiroki Totoki, who was the CFO and COO, was acting as the interim CEO of SIE as Jim Ryan had stepped down and retired. Hiroki Totoki, a position was created for him to be the chairman of SIE, right? In addition to his roles doing everything else, right? This confused me, and it confused a lot of people. And honestly, it confused me because the headline people got it wrong, but I will admittedly, PlayStation didn't correct them. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I kind of get like a little agitated with PlayStation. Like, you don't want to address every little stupid mishap on the internet, but when people get your business structure egregiously wrong, address it. A lot of us thought because of the headlines that they were co-CEOs of SIE. Like there were two CEOs put in charge of SIE, and that would be the new structure because it's this new structure, right? So when this happened earlier this year, where Nishino was awarded the sole role and president and CEO of SIE, right? Because it says here, new leadership at Sony Interactive Entertainment. A lot of us assumed, hold on, they both were already CEOs of SIE. So because they both were already CEOs of SIE, Herman Holst must have been demoted. And after, a couple of conversations and stuff on the internet, people were saying no, but they weren't pinpointing why that wasn't the case. But the only person that was pinpointing why was my good friend William Aguilar. He's a good friend of the channel. Shout out to Will. He's been a supporter since way back in the PNTS network Discord days, right? I think if my memory serves me right, we gave away a PlayStation 4 Pro as a giveaway in there, and Will was the winner. So that's how far back he goes, was supporting the platform. I had a conversation with Will, and I'm like, Will, like, you're the perfect person to help me research this. I believe Herm was demoted, pay not affected, just job grade due to this move. It looks to me Nishino simply was made the solo CEO. Will said no, he wasn't demoted. The position of CEO of SIE was unfilled, right? So he clarified it. Nishino and Herm Holst were CEOs within SIE. And then my good homie, I can't find the tweet, but my good homie, King Thrash Gaming also clarified too. He said, the way it looks, Moss, is that these guys were both made CEOs within SIE, and they were battling to see who would take over SIE solely. And of course, Nishino won. And either way, I'm happy with the outcome. You know what I'm saying? As long as it ain't the other way around, I'm happy with it. But because I've done this for 25 plus years, I've created job functions. I know how this stuff works. I said, hold on. If they were both CEOs of SIE, somebody got demoted. But that's not the case. They were both CEOs within SIE, and as our good friend William Aguilar states, the CEO of SIE was left vacant. Hiroki Totoki was just made a temporary chairman with the plans, apparently to groom him and have him become the head of Sony. He's now the CEO of Sony altogether, right? So, with that being said, was a little bit of confusion, but based upon my experience, we were on the right track as far as describing how the business particularly works. It's just that with the media, the way they messed stuff up, the way Sony didn't confirm it, and kind of like the vagueness of their original message, it was hard to catch that they were CEOs within SIE, and the original CEO position of SIE was left vacant. There's no such confusion this time around. I want to show you guys something, explain something, because as Shuhei Yoshida has been working the circuit, he's been explaining his time at PlayStation, giving us a lot of tasty tidbits, just giving us some insight. None of it really shocking if you know how business works, but he gives you some tasty tidbits to reinforce things if you understand how, the sausage is made. All right. Shuhei Yoshida really appreciated indie game role created by Jim. It mentions here in comments which went viral, much to the executive's surprise, the well-loved industry icon revealed when ex-CEO Jim Ryan asked me to do the indie job, the choice was to do that or leave the company. Now, that hit the internet. Everybody said they hated Jim Ryan, right? Jim Ryan is a problem. He should have never been the head of SIE, Why were people saying this? People were saying this because Shuhei Yoshida is a legend. He's known for spearheading and really monitoring and maturing like one of the biggest seismic shifts in recent PlayStation history. And what is that? God of War. They now had another studio competent enough to bring quadruple A, we're going to steal that term from Ubisoft, quadruple A type of games, and not just have it in the hands of Naughty Dog over at Sony. Everybody loved Uncharted, and then everybody loved The Last of Us even more. People weren't sure if across the board Sony could deliver at that level with other studios. And Santa Monica broke that motif and said, yeah, now we got something that may be just as big, if not bigger, than what Naughty Dog creates, right? And then the rest is history. God of War 2018 came out. Yoshida's known for talking to Cory Barlog, telling him, nah, this is not what we need right now. You got to go back and redraw this, and it becoming a stellar franchise, a stellar reboot of the franchise. God of War 2018, so fantastic. It made me a PlayStation hater. Really changed just that single game, opened my eyes and said, hold on. Maybe I've been misjudging PlayStation all along, and then Last of Us 2 came out and the rest is history. Now, that being said, Yoshida's infamously known for that. If you look even more recently, even though he was put in the indie role, Yoshida was known for bringing a Stellar Blade, which in my opinion, and I think a lot of people feel this way, is probably of the best exclusives that PlayStation has this generation. It's particularly my favorite this generation. I love Stellar Blade. Can't get enough of it, right? Yoshida discovered that and brought that over, okay? And supported that and made that the great game that it is. Yoshida over the years has had a special touch on games that just cannot, it's hard for it to be rivaled. Another example, you know that Yoshida was responsible in signing over Naughty Dog from Universal. It was originally Phil Harrison's team that discovered them at Universal, but there needed to be a second sign off with Phil Harrison in order to bring them over to PlayStation. Yoshida observed the work, surveyed the team, and said, yeah, we need these guys, and help make that deal complete. Yoshida's legend cannot be, it can't be trampled on at all, right? And the reason why I'm emphasizing on this is because there's rhetoric out there, and there's rhetoric from people that I like that are saying, well, you know what? Now that we're going to get you're going to see where Yoshida kind of clarifies his comment about he was given no choice. He expands on even further. There's rhetoric out there that, you know, maybe Yoshida just didn't do a good enough job. It's not what happened. Like I said, the truth is always in the middle, and it's important for us to not form our judgments based off the limited information that we got within the first 5 minutes of now. You got to go back and do some research. I know a lot of us are pressed for time. Trust me, I have 2 businesses. I got a full-time job, and I do this. I have no time. You know what I'm saying? But I still do my research because I got to know what's going on. I can't just surmise. It doesn't make me feel good to just sit here and theorize about stuff and not really know if my theories hold any weight or any water. I got to know what is actually going on, okay? So let's look at Yoshida's clarification or further deep diving of what he was saying in regards to the whole indie position, right? After the backlash towards Jim Ryan. So it continues, the article continues, it says, now in the Sacred Symbols Plus interview paywall, Yoshida's explained the indie role was created specifically for him after a series of studios had publicly criticized PlayStation's approach. Quote, Jim was worried about the situation with indies, and to his credit, he really supported me within the company and sent a message that is very important to support our partners, including indies. So I really appreciate Jim doing what, and I really appreciate his suggestions to do this indie work in the position he created. I really don't think anything bad about Jim. If anything, I'm really grateful for how he helped and supported me for the past 4 years. Okay, so in response to that, people are now taking to the internet and they're saying, see, guys got it all wrong. Jim didn't demote Yoshida. Yoshida wanted this position, and Jim created it for him. And maybe Jim felt like he had to move him because Yoshida just wasn't good at what he was doing anymore, despite the fact that we got Stellar Blade from Yoshida, even though that was outside of his bounds, right? You know what I'm saying? As he's discovering this stuff. Okay, so let me give you just a little bit of transparency here. I worked at a management level in the Fortune 500 space for 25 plus years. I managed managers. I've done a lot of special projects. I've helped draft uniform commercial code that deals with a lot of important transactions in the business world. I've helped draft uniform commercial code. Look it up. You don't know what it is. I don't have time to break it down here. And this is a video game podcast. I want to turn it into something else. All right. I've also created positions. I've demoted people. I've seen people demoted. I've been demoted. I've been promoted. This was a demotion. Like, this is not like, you know, the confused wording that happened with the whole SIE CEO thing. This was a Yo, what is up, everybody? We are back. We're back. What's up, everyone? It's your boy MM2K. I'm here with Cold Blood as usual. Cold Blood, how you doing today, good brother?
Man, doing just fine, bro. Finally, no longer as sick as I was.
Yeah, hey, I know. Trust me. I started getting sick again, man. I'm like, what the hell? It wasn't the flu, but I started getting nauseous again. I don't know if it's just the after effects of me getting the stomach flu the last time, or this is something new. I don't know, but Jesus Christ, this is sixth season. Hope everybody out there is doing well. Hope you guys aren't getting sick. We got Devil Shooter in the house. He says, hey, what's up, everybody? Hit that like button. Come on. Let's make sure we get the likes up. Also, too, come on, let's get to 10 likes. We got High on Life in the house. Also, after today's stream, that video that you heard, it's fairly longer because I go into a lot of detail about the business stuff along with some other things that I didn't think was good for the show. So if you separately want to understand why I say what I say about Shuhei Yoshida's interviews, members get access to it first, as you always do. You get access to the Saturday videos first. It'll become public on Saturday. So but yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about today. Not only do we have Shuhei Yoshida's interviews to talk about, but we got Xbox. Yeah, they're supposed to be coming out with hardware. Maybe not. Maybe so. We don't know. Sarah Bond, is it? Hello, check, mic check. Has anybody heard from Sarah Bond and shit? Is she like Phil Harrison of Stadia? Did she like go to London and disappear, and then, you know, at the end of Xbox she's gonna send y'all a letter like Stadia and shit? Oh, we decided to close it down. Like, where is Sarah Bond? Golly. That being said, yeah, we got a great show. Let me set the goal up right now. If you guys do 10 super chats of teal or higher, I will gift a member. I will gift a member. So, and the lucky person will get access to a lot of this great stuff, a lot of this great content. Last week we did, and if you guys can do 20, I'll give away a $25 gift card to your favorite service or platform or whatever. Cold Blood, man, what's been going on, brother? What you been playing, man?
Only Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
What you got, like 5 hours in that? You know, you've been fraud, man. How less of hours you got now?
Damn, bro. Like, what are these Xbox numbers you're talking about? What's going on? No, I got 85 hours.
Woo! Jesus Christ. Okay, all right. Okay, well, I shut the fuck up then. Okay, all right. You said 85 hours. How you enjoying it, man? You liking it?
Bro, it's probably RPG of the year already.
That's awesome.
The year just started.
How's the action in it? I do want to give it a try, but I'm hearing that there's not a lot of action in it. Is that the case, or?
I mean, it's a medieval kind of simulator type of thing.
Okay.
So if you like very slow and methodical fights,
okay,
then this game is just for you. But if you need fucking Michael Bay explosions and shit, bro.
I don't need that shit, yeah.
Well, maybe you should look somewhere else.
Yeah, like I'm a Fallout junkie, so yeah, I don't need.
Oh, then it's up your alley completely, because it's the same shit. When you do stuff like fighting with a sword for a long time, you level it up.
Okay.
Also, just running or stealthing, you slowly level it up. Shit like that, you know.
Okay. So it's up Fallout. Okay, yeah. You know what? I don't know. I hate the way, and I know a lot of you listening on the other end of this too. I hate the way that people try to describe games. It's slow in the action and it's this and that. And it makes you, and I'm like, well, hold on. Do we not have games like Fallout and all these other games that we've been playing? Why is Kingdom Come being called slow in that? Why are they targeting that? You know, but
well,
okay.
Look, the one-on-ones can be fucking fast. It goes back and forth with the fucking sword fighting and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's slow. It's a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously slow burn because you're gonna be talking a lot in this game.
Okay.
A lot of the game is trying to convince somebody about something.
Okay, got you.
But then there's also moments where you have to fight like multiple people also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you can stealth kill a whole fucking camp or something.
Sounds like Fallout. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get what...
Yeah, there's so many multiple approaches to a quest.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
you could do it all just run in, fuck everybody up. Or you go stealth about it, or I don't know, you just go to someone and talk to them and convince them, hey, I need that shit, give it to me.
I see a lot
like
of shit
there's
like that.
There's a lot of ways to complete a lot of these quests.
Okay. Yeah, I don't get why. There was just a lot of talk. Oh, it's slow. Like they were saying it like it's slower than anything we've been introduced to. But
bro, you have to immerse yourself in a game like this.
Yeah, the game like that. It's yeah.
You cannot go in it expecting just to be a fucking Rambo and fuck everybody up, and that's it. Nah, you're gonna get your ass kicked if you do that.
You don't put on some spacesuit and fly over people and headshot 80 enemies at once. Yeah,
like in Starfield. Yeah, like you're level 1 and fuck up somebody that is level 80 because you hid behind a fucking wall or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That ain't happening like that.
That's not. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people forget the games, you know, and I love it. Like games like BioShock. Like I remember playing BioShock 2, man. It was one area, just one fucking area. I'm playing that area for an hour. It was so fucking crazy, dude. Like, yeah, you're immersed in yourself. You got to be methodical. There's a strategy to it. That's not new. You know, I don't know why people were just on this kick of like, oh yeah, the gameplay is slow. I'm thinking you get into one fight every 9 hours and a fight might take 2 hours and shit like that. I'm thinking it's something insane, but no, it just sounds like, you know, the more methodical, strategic games like that. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Yeah, because, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to, after we get through these comments, we're just going to get right into it. Like, yeah, man, because I'm not digging Avowed. I'm not digging it. Nah, not for me, buddy. And, yeah, we're going to have to talk about Xbox games and their approach. I don't think it's horrible that I'm not into it. It's kind of like Indiana Jones. I didn't think it was a horrible thing that I wasn't into it, but I'm starting to see a common pattern where Xbox had a strategy that I thought it could, I think it could have worked for them, but then they went overboard. So yeah, we could talk about that. Let me go over this chat. Shout out to you guys. We got High on Life. Yeah, what's going on, my friend? Devil Shooter said, let's go. High on Life says, yeah, Yoshida was effectively demoted. His job title was eliminated due to the restructure in 2019. Yeah, and High on Life, you're going to want to watch my video after this. I break it down because, and I know you guys probably think I'm capping. I swear to you guys on everything I love, I am not making this shit up. the same fucking exact thing happened to me. It didn't happen to me once. It happened to me twice. Yeah, I've been demoted, but I was demoted in a way that I kind of like wanted. I break it down to you. So even though Yoshida was like, oh, okay, well, this is where you're moving me, I actually like this. I can, I can kick it here and ride off of the set. Even if Yoshida liked it, it's still a demotion. Every single demotion is not punishment. It's like, we don't want you in this position anymore. We're going to put you in a lower position because we still feel like you're worth it. We're not going to lay you off. We're not going to synergize you. But you don't have the classification and the role that you had before. And when you think about that, well, I'll get to that in a little bit. I will just say they didn't have to do that. And especially looking at how some of these games and some of the games that aren't coming to fruition turned out, they would have been better off doing it a different way. I'll get into that. But a lot of people are upset because they're like, oh, Yoshida got demoted. And then you got another side saying, no, he didn't get demoted. And maybe Yoshida just wasn't that good. No, we're going to talk about it. But I'm not going to talk about the business side because I don't want to put you guys to sleep. You're going to have to watch the video for that. But yeah, High on Life, definitely. Yeah, he was demoted. He was demoted. Same with Herm. Now, High on Life, Herm wasn't demoted. And I go over it in the video. I thought Herm was demoted and he wasn't. And High on Life and anybody listening, I'm not mad at y'all because I was fooled. Now, trust me, I'm somebody that I've created jobs. I've gone to HR and said, look, we want to create a new area. Here's the salary range. Here's the job grade. I've created jobs. I've managed managers. So I know how this works. It was the wording from Sony that was vague, but more importantly, the headlines from the game media that fucked with us and made it look like that Herm got demoted. Herm didn't get demoted. Basically what happened was Herm, when Jim Ryan left, his seat as CEO of SIE was vacated and it was never filled. They just put Hiroki Totoki there and made like a parallel position called the chairman of SIE. Hiroki was never the CEO. They just made him the chairman. I'm sorry for the mic hit, of SIE. Now here's where it gets confusing. Herm Holst and Nishino were both promoted to CEOs within SIE. Not CE, they weren't. So the headlines were wrong. The fucking gaming journalists got it wrong. They were not CEOs of SIE. They made new roles and they were CEOs of these respective places within SIE. So they weren't the CEOs of SIE. Then Jim Ryan fucks up. We're calling for his head. I mean, not Jim Ryan. Herm Holst fucks up. We call for his head. And they realize, okay, out of these two, here is going to be the new CEO of SIE, not within SIE. And Nishino got promoted again to Jim Ryan's old job. What's the name leaves? Totoki, well, he doesn't leave, but Totoki no longer is the chairman. And Herm Holst is where he's at, where he's still over games, but at least he got Nishino as a stopgap to make sure he don't do no more crazy Concord shit. And more importantly, they put most of the power when it comes to the games and stuff in the hands of the Japanese. I just think Sony operates better as a company where it's not fully Western. Like they got rid of Shuhei, as you said earlier, and they merged his role into what Herman Holst did, and they tried to make it West/European. And I just don't think Sony runs well under that. And they fucked around and found out. Ain't nothing wrong with having Westerners and or Europeans or whoever in certain high power roles, but the legacy of Sony is a global company with a Japanese core, I feel. And they've settled on that. But yeah, I got confused too. Shout out to William Aguilar and shout out to King Thrash that broke it down to me. First, William Aguilar broke it down to me and said, no, the headlines were wrong. This is why y'all think this. And he showed it to me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then King Thrash came in with the last layer like, yeah, basically what happened was Nishino and Holst, they were battling for Jim Ryan's job. They never split Jim Ryan's job. They were battling for it. And then Nishino won. And I said, okay, now that makes sense. What's up, says Muhammad? Yeah, Muhammad. Hey, and shout out to Muhammad. Muhammad was the inspiration for today's video. Because I was at work last night, tired to the motherfucker. I'm tired, man. I can't wait till some of this shit dies down for me. But I was tired and I had to take a break. I was just exhausted. And I'm just reading comments and Muhammad had said something and me and him were having, friendly back and forth. And I'm like, you know what? Let me make it clear on what happened from a business perspective because people are getting confused. And mainly it's because of the bad media out here. They said that's not technically not being demoted though. You're typically only demoted due to, no, that's not true. Vendor of strings, no, that's not true. As a matter of fact, I want to show you right now. That's not true. And demotions have a caricature to them. Here, I'm going to put it right here on the screen. And I put this in the video too. And trust me, as someone, I have created jobs. I have demoted people either through a promotion, through punishment, not through punishment. I've been demoted twice and it wasn't a punishment. I explained in the video. It's two long stories. I don't want to get into them here. Demote it says give someone a lower rank or less senior position, usually as a punishment. It's not always. So yes, there's a misconception that a demotion is always as punishment. A demotion isn't always as punishment. Like in my two cases, I wanted my demotion because I didn't like the situation I was in. So I got demoted. And all it takes to be demoted, trust me, this is corporate 500. Fortune 500 experience. I've testified in multi-million-dollar cases. I've helped draft with the government uniform commercial code. I know how this works. To be demoted, all you have to do is be assigned a lower rank or a lower tiered position. So if you were a manager and they bump you down to a supervisor, you got demoted. Now, sometimes you can make that move because it's like, well, I'm a manager here, but I like that area better. So I'd rather work my way up to that area over there. And say the position that you want to go over to, it's a lower job grade. Like say if you're a job grade K, but that supervisor position is a job grade J. But you want it. All right. You're demoted though. If they, because a lot of times they don't even accept changes that are not lateral moves. Normally when you make a move, it's got to be a lateral move or higher, because when you go to a lower job grade, that caps your ability to get a raise and things get complicated like that. So if they approve your demotion, you'll be demoted, even if you wanted it. So Social Joint says it wasn't a demotion. Jim took the position and they gave him a whole other, no, you guys are not reading, you guys don't have experience with this. But I'm just going to show you the dictionary. The dictionary says, give someone a lower rank or a less senior position. Now he still reported to Jim Ryan, but we're not going to argue that head of indies is not a less senior position than head of Worldwide Studio, or president, as his position was of Worldwide Studios. He was given a less senior position. It was a demotion. Y'all's problem is psychologically. You have infused your brains to believe that a demotion is purely punishment or he got less money. No, it doesn't work like that. As someone who's created job roles at a Fortune 500 company, a demotion isn't always a punishment. But he was technically, from a technical sense, he was demoted. Why? Because Jim Ryan, we go into this in the video, Jim Ryan wanted to take PlayStation in a whole new direction. He wanted to take SIE in a whole different direction. There was a different structure set up. That's what he sold to the board. The board gave him the green light to do it. And Shuhei and even Connie Bonner, who David Jaffe was getting all worked up and getting hemorrhoids over, they were the old guard. That's why Herm Holst, who my brother Coldblood was telling y'all for over a year, this motherfucker ain't got no experience. What is he doing into this position? That's why he was given an opportunity. He was to represent the new blood. Because Sony wanted to, in order for it to be global, they wanted Western leadership. So it's not that Shuhei Yoshida was punished and demoted. It was Jim Ryan was like, I want to start something new. I want to do something different. Sony now wants Western leadership over SIE, so we got to get these people that think differently out of the way. And the reason why he did that is because he wanted a bigger focus on games as a service, right? He wanted less focus on fanfare, like the shows and stuff. He didn't believe, he had a different thought process when it came to how SIE should be run, and SIE and Sony board gave him a green light. That's why Connie Bonner, like David Jaffe said, and it was reported, they walked into her studio or whatever and fired her whole staff and replaced them with people that Herm wanted. It wasn't because Yoshida did a poor job. Yoshida is he is motherfucking immortal. I've heard people saying, oh, people act like Yoshida's immortal. He is immortal. But Jim Ryan had a whole different thought process of how it should be run. So the old guard, as Shuhei says in a lot of these videos, were let go. And we find out later that for the immediate success of PlayStation, it wasn't such a horrible idea. For the long-term success of PlayStation, it caused some problems. Prime example, only prime example that you need, Concord. Do not fall for this bullshit about, well, Yoshida signed off on Concord. Yoshida, look, you got to look at the things chronologically. Y'all got to stop having a thought process that only settles in the first 5 minutes of now. Firewalk was working on an exclusive game for PlayStation at first. They were their own separate entity. That's what Yoshida likely signed off on. He signed off on Concord being an exclusive. It was Jim Ryan after ABK who announced that they were going to be part of PlayStation out of the whole ABK thing. But even if Shuhei was part of that, signing them on to be part of PlayStation, y'all can't tell me that if Shuhei has the final say, if he's still part of Worldwide Studios at the capacity he was before, you guys trying to tell me that Shuhei Yoshida is going to have Concord released the way that it did? Is that what that's what y'all telling me? Y'all believe that shit? I got some land to sell you. And you could never understand this. If you believe that, your minds are so warped and in such an reprobate state of mind, there's nothing else for me to say. But I'll leave it at that. Juice says, "What's up, family? What's going on?"
Us.
Uh-huh.
Why are the bums in chat so eager all of a sudden to talk about PlayStation today?
Well,
what happened? Normally, we all on defense mode immediately. Why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this? But today they have so much energy for this shit.
The defense force is out, man. I'm trying to tell them. I don't even have to tell them. You tried to tell them. You tried to.
Oh yeah, last year, bro, I tried, but I am tired of this, bro. Like it's always everything great with PlayStation, everything great. There's nothing wrong with PlayStation at all.
Mm-hmm.
But Xbox,
go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But Xbox, but Xbox, that's always the fucking coping mechanism. But Xbox, look at the Xbox.
Yep.
And when I tell them I don't give a fuck about Xbox, it's just being ignored.
Yep.
But today they're eager all of a sudden to talk about PlayStation. What's up with that?
Oh, because they're on the defense force. Instead of wanting to know what actually happened, they want to create their own narratives. I'm telling you how business works. This doesn't happen like this. First and foremost, social joins. I think you're very disconnected from the stuff that's happened. It's on the internet. He said, "How did Yoshida host Approved Concord when he's indies?" Concord wasn't made in 5 minutes. There was a signing of Concord while Yoshida still was in his role to be exclusive. Remember when Herm Holtz had said before the consoles even came out, I think he said there were 26. They had 26 games, 26 exclusives. Remember that? Well, a lot of those the deals for those exclusives were signed while Yoshida was still in charge. As soon as Herm Holtz got the position, he didn't run through the continental United States and start signing deals and shit. No, a lot of those were already signed by Yoshida. So Yoshida had signed a deal with Firewalk to make Concord exclusive. This is before Firewalk was even considered to even be a Sony studio. They were already working on that contract. But while that contract, or after that contract was initially signed just for the exclusive, Yoshida then gets bumped to indies, and then Herm Holtz takes over. But Herm Holtz don't have to say, "Oh, well, that was Yoshida's game." It's a PlayStation game, so he included that in the 26 games that were coming over. So here's something else. Juice, again, you guys, we keep educating you guys. We're going to move on. We keep trying to educate you guys. Then when the dust settles, you guys are proven wrong because you don't want to listen to how things happen. I'm not going to argue that the wheel is round. I'm not going to argue that water is wet. Juice just said, what did he just say about Yoshida said something? What he said? Yoshida said he did it. You can't. No. Again, Yoshida signed off on Concord being exclusive. Yoshida was not in a position to tell you how Concord would release. You guys got to understand the English language. I'm not trying to be mean, but this is why Cold Blood said he don't even want to do it. You guys make it difficult to explain to you nuance. Then when the shit happens that we say is right, then y'all don't want to show up. Y'all want to disappear. Y'all want to send us messages, "Oh, I can't take this anymore." Y'all want to have these aneurysms. Listen to what we're saying, digest it, and research it to see where we're coming from with this stuff. Yoshida did not say, "I signed Concord as it is." He signed Concord because he saw the game. He was like, "You know what? This has some promise." And I'll be honest with you. Concord Inside and Out wasn't a horrible concept. We always argued, who asked for this game the way that it was? Why is it taking the place of a AAA banger? There was so many other things, the marketing, the character designs, that by the time it would have been ready to release, if Yoshida still had the power that he had, like when it came to God of War 2018, we're not getting Concord like that. Yes, he saw the game, and the game wasn't Redfall. It wasn't god awful. It was the marketing, a lot of the stuff to do with the aesthetics, stuff that could have been worked on that just wasn't worked on. That had Yoshida been there, oh, trust me, we're not getting that Concord. Absolutely not. I don't know what else to tell y'all, except keep being wrong.
No. Look, can you blame Yoshida for wanting ex-Bungie developers on his side?
Bruh, come on, man. These dudes, they will defend PlayStation. Hey, yo.
I mean, if Yoshida was still CEO, I would have blasted his ass for this game. Trust me.
Yeah. He probably saw and said, "There's some great mechanics here." And when he signed it, he's like, I'll keep a watchful eye over it, like he does all of his projects. I'll keep a watchful eye over it to see if they're developing it to be better. And then this might be a banger for us. And then all of a sudden he gets moved to Indies. It's out of his control now. It's out of his control. What's he supposed to do? See, fresh 80-20. I mean, hey, if you thought it was great, fine. I'm not going to argue with you with that, but there was something there. I've never said that the game was just totally awful. There was something there. It just still, it just wasn't ready yet. And Yoshida saw that. And like we say in the video, PlayStation wanted to pursue games as a service before Jim Ryan even came. Remember see, this is what I'm saying. Y'all don't do y'all fucking research, bro. And this is a channel where we consistently tell y'all to do y'all research. And a lot of y'all didn't just start gaming yesterday. Why do y'all forget so fucking easily? 2018. Go ahead.
You know what they forgot?
What's that?
They forgot that they restarted the project.
And
after Yoshida was gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So whatever they did before that was Yoshida's part. Mm-hmm. What they delivered, that shit is Herman Holtz and Jim Ryan.
That's Holtz and Jim Ryan, yeah. And Totoki. But let me take you guys back a little bit. 2018. PlayStation has its biggest year up to that point as far as sales, money made, all that shit, right? It was like, what, 20-something billion, 22 or 24 billion? It was crazy for them at that time. So people were wondering what it was that that Xbox was going to do, or Xbox was going to, what their numbers were going to be like. And people were like, oh yeah, Xbox is going to be trash. If PlayStation got 20-something billion, Xbox might be at 7-8 billion, right? Then we discovered that Xbox was at 16 billion. Now again, still big ass gap, but PlayStation looked at that and was like, holy fuck, hold on. We did like 20 plus billion and these motherfuckers did 16 billion and they off of Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. So then that's when you started seeing a shift. And with Andrew Howells, not too long after that, Sean Layton, Kadora was promoted and stuff like that because they were doing more on network and services type things. And because what Sony did after they did an analysis of how was Xbox with such crap content, how were they so close? They said they realized that they were nickel and diamond off of these other structural things. And they said, and Sony said, we got to get better at this. There's no way that we put out this type of effort and these motherfuckers are this close to us. Oh, hell no. Then the nail in the coffin was 2019. After they had such a great 2018, 2019 wasn't so great. You got to remember when all the Xbox were saying, "Oh yeah, look at Sony's stock" or whatever. I mean, it didn't signal the end of Sony, but it did have an effect on their bottom line. Remember, that's when Cador and everybody was, promoted. They started leaning more on Western stuff. You started seeing Sean Layton was let go at that time. That's when you started seeing Jim Ryan get promoted. And then that's when it was the Jim Ryan and Herm Holst era. Right? All this has an impact, and it has a direct lineage from last generation as well. So PlayStation, just like when you see them chasing the MAUs before they changed their stance on that. Why did they give a fuck about having you signing on PC? They wanted the MAUs. Why did they want the MAUs? Because Xbox is as trash as their production has been. They still were able to attract investors because of MAUs. Now you may think that's stupid. It don't matter what you think. The investors think it was important. Sony has to be beholden to the investors to a certain degree. So they went chasing MAUs too. It kind of backfired on them though. All this is interconnected. Y'all can't forget this shit. We sit here forever reminding y'all of this, and y'all forget this so easily. I don't understand. He said, signed off on the concept. Now you have people who didn't play the game, that the people who did and said the game is fine is just not resonating with fans. Well, I'll say this, Corey. Look, fuck it. I'll say it. I played the game before y'all even knew what the fuck it was. I did. I played the game before you even knew what the fuck it was. The focus group that I was with, they were telling Sony, the focus group that I was with when we played this game, before y'all knew what the fuck it was, I've never seen them so negative. And these were people that love PlayStation, because the focus group I was with were all people that had PlayStation. The focus group said, there's something here, but this needs a lot more work. They were saying it back then, and Firewalk and PlayStation were ignoring them back then, well before y'all even knew what Concord was. So its failure, it may have been a pile on once it wasn't getting a reception, but I'm here to tell y'all, PlayStation loyalists that were testing this game, focusing on the game, got to play all that shit that y'all got to play during the beta. Motherfuckers were playing that eons ago, and I was part of the focus group. We were saying back then, this is not going to work. Now y'all got me. I probably won't be called back. Y'all done fucked that up for me. But god damn it. God damn it. We got to stop making up our own realities here. These were PlayStation loyalists. They were singing the praises of PlayStation every time we would get together. And I'm not talking about 10, 15, hundreds of motherfuckers that I knew of. I didn't know everybody that was in this. It was just my group. Hundreds. The chatter around this game was like, yo, this ain't it. It needs a little bit more time. Why does it look like this? The character designs, so it wasn't, there was a pile on because the internet does what the internet does, but the disapproval of the game wasn't all drummed up. I would say the majority of it was legit. But here's the problem. I've been testing games for a while. What I won't do is tell you the particulars of how we had to communicate and how the responses were coming. And me testing this game for Sony, I never felt so ignored to the point to where it was like they wanted you to test it and they wanted feedback, but they weren't absorbing it. You could tell, because I could tell from when we have one session to the next. Like, there were other games that I would test for them, and you could hear what the consensus was in the different groups. Like, you'll have one test session, then like several months later, they'll come back to you, have another test session after they've looked at the recommendations, looked at what they wanted to pick, what they thought were good recommendations, what they thought were bad. Then they call you back to do another test session. From test session 1, I did 2 test sessions. From test session 1 to test session 2, I saw no improvements. I saw none. So people honestly were like, what the fuck is this? So I knew it wasn't going to do well. I thought that maybe on PC, like PC people would accept it and maybe boost it up. And then after PC people boost it up, maybe console people with it. I thought that, because I remember telling Cold Blood that. But damn, the PC reception was even worse. And I'm telling you, the only correlating factor between that particular test, them 2 test sessions that I had for Concord, versus other tests that I have done in the past, Jim Ryan and Herman Holst. It shouldn't be a surprise what I'm saying. This shouldn't be a surprise. And I'm not the first person saying this. You guys heard this before, but it was just uttered as rumors. I'm here to tell you from experience. I experienced it. And it was like they were going to release the game as is no matter what. They didn't care what people thought. So let's go on here. It says, again, stop talking in circles. People didn't like the concept of Concord. Conceptually, it wasn't going to work. That's what Yoshida signed as of exclusive. The concept. What Corey, what the fuck are you talking about? Corey, pick the PlayStation pubes out of your mouth. What the fuck are you talking about? What circles am I talking about? Where did I ever say that Yoshida signed off on Concord as it released? Is that your argument? Or do you think that Yoshida signed off on Concord as it released? Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, I'm gonna end this conversation right now. The way Concord released, Yoshida would have never signed off on that. The concept of Concord, if I'm understanding you right, the concept of Concord, yes. Like Cold Blood said, Bungie developers working on it. The original concepts, okay, cool. But Yoshida's hands-on. He plays the shit. This ain't working. This ain't exciting. Maybe you need to do this. Maybe you need to do that. So yes, the original concept of Concord, he saw it. He played it. He said, yes, I feel like this is a worthy exclusive. He signed off on it. But that doesn't mean that the full title as we got it, he would have accepted that. Is that what you're saying, Corey? That the Concord that we got would have been the exact same if Yoshida was there? That's all I need to know. Because I'm not going to argue if water is wet anymore. We're not going to do that. We got a whole nice ass show lined up for y'all. We ain't going to do that shit. There was no amount of time, energy, or effort that was going to make the concept. Corey, now you're talking in circles. One last chance. Are you saying that the Concord that we got at release would have been the same Concord that Yoshida would have signed off on? Character models, maps, all that stuff. Let's look beyond just concept. The game in its entirety. Had Yoshida saw that, you're saying that if Yoshida was there, given the final approval, instead of Herm Hulse, we would have gotten the same game? Is that what you're saying? That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. It's funny how y'all deflect. Now you're talking in circles. I asked a specific question. Are you saying that would have been the same game that Yoshida would have signed off on? That's all I need to know. Juice says, if we're not going to give any blame to the guy who signed this, bruh. Number one, do you guys understand? Now, hold on. I will give Corey credit on this. Corey's stance on Concord, whether I agree with it or not, has been the same. A lot of y'all in this chat today that are saying Concord is trash, it should have never been accepted. Y'all were not saying that shit several months ago. And I'm Juice. I'm not saying you're the same way, but I got to check the receipts on you. I will give Corey credit on that. All I need to know from Corey is if he's trying to cap and say that this would have been the same Concord had Yoshida been there. That's all I'm saying. I will give Corey credit on that. But a lot of y'all in this chat were the same motherfuckers that said Concord was just getting hate. There was nothing wrong with Concord. Now you're saying, well, he deserves blame for it too. He signed the game. Hold on, let me read Corey's comment. He says the game had the concept in it. No, okay, I'm done with you, Corey. We're done. I'm done. Cold Blood, help me understand, right? Because you play 5v5 hero shooters, right?
Actually, 6v6, but
or 6v6. Okay, 6v6 hero shooters, and you liked them. So, is the concept of a 6v6 hero shooter even? I'm just talking about concept that was in Concord. Was that a problem for you, or was it design and other things? Like, can you break it down what the issue would have been for you? Because you play a lot of Marvel Rivals and stuff like that. What was the issue with you on Concord? I can't even believe we're having this discussion. I'm about to move on, but go ahead.
My God, really? I mean, first of all, the character design in this game, like, bro, I could not give less of a fuck about these characters.
Thank you. So that's design.
They marketed the game as the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
But what the fuck are you doing making a hero shooter out of that concept?
Mm-hmm.
That is so dumb. Then make a fucking co-op game or something. Like, bro, no, that I was not vibing with the characters at all. In that kind of gameplay style.
That's design. Like the concept could have been added on to. Corey Balrog had a concept. And he was told to go back to the drawing board. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
Then not having ultimates in the game, like
Come
what
on,
the
brother.
fuck?
That's what
That is, yeah, that is something that makes this character so unique and memorable.
Yeah. You talking about what are y'all projecting? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What else makes them unique besides they have different weapons?
That ain't got nothing to do with concept. Is that concept?
They have different hands and different weapons in those hands.
Different hands and feet. It's their feet that makes them special. Raining man.
Like this, it felt like more of a. I am gonna 1v1 this guy in a gunfight instead of this is a team game where everybody's working towards a goal.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like a hero shooter to me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt more like just a fucking arcade shooter like Call of Duty, but with way more fucking health and some abilities.
Yeah. So the concept behind... Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, if you make a hero shooter, it has to have this tank, DPS, and healer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, people just don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in this game, you really did not have much of a healer, really. I mean, you had a healer, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't feel the same at all. Like when you fight in Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, it's completely different. And most people didn't vibe with that shit at all.
Yeah, character balancing, character implementation. That's beyond concept.
Of course, look. The gameplay was not the biggest issue. The biggest issue, let's be honest, was the fucking character design.
Thank you.
People did not give a fuck about a single one of them.
Thank you.
Overwatch was unique because they had fucking cinematics on top of fucking cinematics. Way before the game even launched.
Thank you.
They promoted the shit out of the game.
Corey.
What did Firewalk do? 2 fucking cinematics before launch and telling us in the end, yeah, that's a hero shooter. After we all was assuming it's gonna be probably a co-op game or something.
Here's what I'm going to say, and then we're going to move on because we're wasting valuable time. We got other shit to fry besides people wanting a wood buff PlayStation. Corey, you can play that smarter than everybody in the room bullshit. You can play it with me when it comes to this type of game. Fine. You can't play it with Cold Blood. I know that for sure. And you definitely can't play it with the hundreds of motherfuckers that I tested with that played this game multiple times before you even knew what it was. We got more notes on what this game was supposed to be and was supposed to represent than you'll ever have. You'll ever have, because we were talking directly with the developers. Stop it. Game over. Anyway, for those of you that are interested in understanding how things work from a business perspective, why, even though it was voluntary in a lot of ways, why Yoshida was technically demoted, why it isn't so, why Jim Ryan, even though he did a lot of good for the front end of PlayStation, he panicked. He took PlayStation long-term towards a certain trajectory that just in time, I feel like PlayStation is course correcting, but I don't think Jim Ryan was just totally evil or totally bad, but he definitely wasn't a saint, and he doesn't get to wash that away. Why Shuhei Yoshida is the motherfucker that y'all need to respect this gangster. If you want to understand all that and the evidence behind that, check out the video that we're gonna play after the podcast.
I urge every single developer out there to never do what Firewalk did with Concord in promising every week some fucking cutscene.
Yeah.
Don't Never do that. Never do that again. That was such a dumb idea.
Mm-hmm.
You want to promote your game before launch, not while it launched. That's dumb. And when you do those, you better have those characters on fucking point. I'm telling you. Because now that Marvel Rivals is out and it's fucking Overwatch up the ass, your chances are very slim to get another get another shot at Euro shooters.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you're saying the same shit that we heard in the focus groups. Jim, Creed, where were you at, man? I needed you here 35 minutes ago. My brain is hurting. Thank you, Creed. Jim Ryan needed like an Amy Hood, not necessarily Amy Hood, but he needed somebody to watch over him. That person would have been Connie Bonner, the producer, but he got rid of her. Why? Because he wanted to old guard out. He had a whole new direction for PlayStation. A lot of things work. Like, look, Portal was the shit. Them deciding to buy House Marquee was a smart move. How they watched, now I know Cold Blood won't give them credit for it, but I will say that how they watched Helldivers through the process and released that. Again, I'm not saying Jim Ryan was Satan.
Wait, whoa. Did I ever say I don't give Jim Ryan credit for Helldivers?
Yeah, you did. So you can get credit for that. Or Herman Hulse.
Oh yeah, no, fuck Herman Hulse. No, he did not. Nah, hell no.
But he did have to watch that through. So I'll give him credit for, I'm not saying they were completely evil, but there were mistakes made. And I'm not saying Yoshida's perfect, but Yoshida is on a tier. He's like Peter Moore, where nobody said Peter Moore was perfect. Fucking Peter Moore decided to launch the 360 with a 60% failure rate, and it cost Microsoft $2 billion to fix. But guess what? Because he was so shrewd and said, look, we got to do everything. We got to get ahead of PlayStation. And it did exactly what they wanted it to do, disrupt PlayStation's dominance. It didn't even matter. Motherfuckers shipped in their 360 and patiently waited for it to come back, and they just kept trucking along. So no, nobody's saying that Yoshida can't do any wrong. But come on, from signing Concord, which Corey is like 3% right, the concept of Concord isn't bad. It was just the level design, the characters, and a bunch of other shit. The marketing under Jim Ryan and Herm Hulse, that made it bad. And the people that I tested with, they weren't upset at the concept. It was all the other things on the periphery that just made it an unappealing experience. And you add that to the fact that people want their holiday banger, AAA banger, and then this motherfucker rolls out. It rolled out. It was the worst game to roll out and at the worst time. But it had potential under better management and leadership. It wasn't Redfall. Like, Redfall should have never been taken off the shelf. Redfall is totally different. Nobody's saying Yoshida is perfect, but he's S tier. And what could have happened is he could have stayed in his position. Herman Hulse could have reported to him, and Yoshida still could have directly dealt with indies. A lot of people do it. When I talked about that uniform commercial code, I fucking had to sit with lawmakers and talk to contemporaries and go across the country over certain laws. I did that while I managed 3 teams. So it just was a matter of me going to my other managers and saying, I got to scoot this off to you. I got to scoot that off to you. I got to scoot this off to you. Yoshida still could have been head. Herman Hulse could have been sitting under him and to get groomed. And then we would have had proper oversight over these games being released. But Jim Ryan didn't want that. Jim Ryan had a different direction that he wanted to go in. It was his right. It just wasn't right, all the way around. So yes, Yoshida was demoted, even though it was a demotion that he wasn't punished. It was just they still found value in Yoshida. How the fuck can't you find value in Yoshida? But they didn't want him in the leadership role that they had him in. So they had to bump him down, put him into indies. And we are not going to sit here and argue that head of indies, a project to get them back in good with indie developers is the same as worldwide studios. We're not going to do that. We're not going to argue over the well being round, water being wet. We're not going to do that today. All right. So, no, Corey, you're wrong. That's not the concept of the game. I want you to find a developer and see if the developer agrees with you. I've talked to developers on the game. I've had to message them when I've come into errors. I've had to talk to them when I was expressing concerns over why hasn't this changed since the last beta. I even took it. At the end of my second play session, I wrote them a long ass fucking letter. I still got the letter. I wrote them a long ass fucking letter asking why I'm in these focus groups and why is the shit around the concept, not the concept, around the concept, character design and stuff. That's not the concept. Why isn't this shit being addressed? And the person I was communicating with was like, oh, okay, thank you very much. Probably wiped her ass with it and went about her business. But had she paid attention to me and all the other people, I'm pretty sure the way that a Yoshida led worldwide studios would have done, would have listened to the collective instead of just doubling down on what they wanted to do, we would have had a different Concord and PlayStation would have been spared the embarrassment. So no, we're not going to turn up, down, and down, up. It wasn't the concept that was the problem. It was the implementation of the things to support the concept that was an issue. Cold Blood spoke to it. The fucking character designs. There was no attachment to it. Level design. There's just other things associated to the game that just wasn't appealing. And I've heard it with the other people that I tested with. Cree 86, before we move, we're going to move on. Cree 86 says, yeah, Jim Ryan, for all his faults, presided over the... Yeah, exactly, Cree. That's why I say I can't sit there and say that the guy was fucking evil or the guy was horrible. I make a comparison for those of you that watch American football. If you know who the Pittsburgh Steelers are, I know because they're our hometown team. Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin. Jim Ryan is like Mike Tomlin, where he was handed all these assets. And of course, he was the right guy to be handed those assets because he kept it good. But when it came time for him to bring in his own assets, that's when you started to see some flaws. Like Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, motherfucker, he ain't won a playoff game in, 7 years or some shit like that? So we started to see some cracks in the armor. Same with Jim Ryan. Some of his long-term, the long-term ramifications of some of his decisions were kind of bad. And they needed to be called out. And I'm particularly calling out the decision to move Shuhei Yoshida. I would have taken the role for indies, given it to Shuhei, and said, look, we want you to groom Herman. Herman is the future. You get it, right, Shuhei? Sure. Okay. Herman is the future. Want you to pass on a lot of the stuff to Herman. Just watch over his shoulder because he's still wet behind the ears. And I want a large part of your focus to be on this indie stuff. It happens all the time. Why didn't they do that? Jim went too far in throwing out the old guard. He got rid of Connie Booth. They said they just walked into their office. Them motherfuckers are just working. Walked into the office. You're gone. Got rid of the whole fucking staff, restaffed everybody. All right, let's move on. Xbox. Hold on, where's my rundown? Okay, there we go. So Cold Blood. There's a lot of talk about Xbox and them coming out with a new handheld, right? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if we can believe that they're even gonna do new hardware. I know why they want to do it, because when you look at their financial makeup, Xbox's financial makeup, they make up too much money off the console games and services. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about all the tiers of Game Pass, or Xbox Live primarily, but Game Pass that are tethered to the console. And you look at Fortnite, Roblox, Apex Legends. Those are the games during the aforementioned infamous 2018-2019 saga with Xbox that kept them afloat. Is all that there's, getting the transactions from those games. They can't give that up. If they give up the console, you see a humongous dip in their revenue. They go from fucking, because what Activision Blizzard is only giving them $9 billion. So if they get rid of the console overnight, they go from what, 22 billion? I think they made, or 20 billion. Last calendar year, they go from 20 billion, I say, to 12 billion at the most. So I see why they still want to have a storefront. They still want to have hardware. But I don't know if they're actually going to release something. What do you think, Cold Blood, Xbox is actually going to do when it comes to next generation? What do you think they're going to come out with, if anything?
They're gonna do fuck all. Because can you explain to me why all of a sudden Xboxes just disappear from Brazil?
Dude, oh my God.
Can you explain that to me?
That one doesn't make sense to me, because I thought Brazil was, like, outside of US and Europe, was like one of their most supported regions. But I'm guessing it has to do with the economy. And so they said, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? They said, fuck them. That's crazy though, bro.
So, one of their biggest regions outside of USA, they say fuck them.
Fuck them. Because they don't care about it's so weird. Like, so much is riding on the console because of Game Pass and then these microtransactions. But you're saying fuck it. But if you say fuck it, and this is just my guesstimates, you're going to lose like at least $12 billion if you do that. I don't know, dude. And that's why I said we haven't seen Sarah. When's the last time we seen Sarah Bond? When is the last time we seen her?
I think she's still packing her things.
Hey, bruh, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, bruh. Yeah. She wasn't at the Game Awards. And let's do this. Let's go to Twitter, and then we're gonna go to Blue Sky.
Look,
go ahead.
my only guess right now would be they're gonna make something like Steam OS, just Xbox OS.
Okay.
And anybody can put that motherfucker on anything that they want.
Yeah.
They can put it on a PC, they can put it on a fucking handheld or whatever.
Whew, but if they
and
do
then
that, go ahead.
and then they're gonna have some bullshit with AI. Something, bro. I don't know, but this AI should really make them scared.
Yeah, this should make people scared. Yeah, I agree.
No, definitely Xbox fans. Oh my god. Bro, they literally want to just fuck developers and say, yeah, most of that shit gonna be AI made now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if they succeed in doing that, bro, you think Avowed is bad or Redfall is bad? Oh my God, you didn't see anything yet then.
All right. We got a Sarah Bond sighting on Twitter. I can't get in the blue sky. But here, let's go to Twitter. Let's go to our Sarah Bond sighting right here. And she retweeted this. Microsoft said, "What's a mouse? We're reminiscing about learning how to click, drag, and drop in solitaire." Another Microsoft game dev. We're partnering with GDC for limited all access GDC. Okay. ID at Xbox. Lies of P. Like, she's doing a lot of retweeting. I don't see, like, she's not messaging at all, bro. And again, I'm not saying that that's absolutely horrible. Maybe that's not her thing. She's like, I just want to do the fucking work. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see she in this picture.
Yeah, bro, her Twitter account is just a repost bot.
Yeah, that's all it is, bro. Golly, y'all done ran Sarah Bond off of Twitter, man. Oh man, what y'all do to Sarah Bond, man? Oh shoot, yeah, bruh. Let me try to go to Blue Sky, see if I can get something off of Blue Sky. Holy shit, bro. Yeah, y'all done ran poor Sarah Bond off of Twitter, man. All right, how the fuck do you search on this damn thing? Sarah Bond. Golly. Search Sarah Bond. Probably hid herself from me. Nope, I cannot find Sarah Bond on Twitter. Does she have her links? Can't find her. Damn. How come I can't find Sarah Bond on Twitter? Sarah Bond, Xbox. I can't find her on Blue Sky. Did she protect her? Did she protect herself on Blue Sky or some shit? Sarah Bond, I don't think she's on Blue Sky. Oh man, hold on. Let me see. Bond. Let me put in Bond. Sarah Bond.
Yo, because we were talking about AI, this is a great fucking video here. I sent you.
Okay. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. There she goes. Oh, you linked. Okay, you sent it to me. Okay, here she goes. Bond. Sarah Bond. All right. Oh no, she's vocal on. Oh, so I guess these motherfuckers decided they're not going to talk on Twitter. They're going to talk on they're on Blue Sky. Here she go on Blue Sky. Oh shit. They abandoned Twitter. Oh, look at this. Here she goes, empowering game creators with innovative research that could unlock groundbreaking ideas. Okay, there she goes. She's on Blue. So I guess this is an Xbox policy now. They're only retweeting on Twitter because Phil's doing the same thing. Here she goes. Okay, she's on Blue Sky. Ain't that some shit? Y'all done read her off on Twitter.
Which one of those is Sarah Bond?
It says Bond, Sarah Bond. So she's at Bond, Sarah Bond at, what was that? .bsky social. Do I not have it up on the? Oh yeah, I have it up. It says Avowed on Steam allows you to use Xbox Cloud Saves, the second game to do so after Indiana Jones. Interesting. So she's on. So there is a sighting, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, she's also on the AI train, so bro.
Oh yeah.
Xbox is cooked.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this.
No, show them the video I just sent you, bro. It's literally a PC channel telling you what the fuck the future of gaming is.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Someone that is not console warring at all. Like that dude does not care about console wars whatsoever. And he is telling you that shit. Show him. Like soon, bro, we just gonna get a fucking chip in our brain, bro, and then they're gonna say AI is gonna do everything. Like, bro, what GPU? What is that?
This is what I was looking at earlier. Hold on. All right, so this is Bobzilla is always talking shit on PC. He says, "Fuck PC gaming confirmed. Just get a PlayStation 5 Pro. Ain't that right?" Clicked Onyx. Okay. All right, here we go. So let's listen to this. All right, I gotta go. I gotta
wait. That clip is from the channel Jay's 2 cents. Just so we give them credit.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where is? Oh, here we go. So it's B2 now. Okay. Let's pause this music. God damn it. All right. Here we go. This is, and now this guy is a big PC advocate. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was breaking down a lot of shit years ago to me, not personally, but I was watching his videos about, you know, why there was regulations on monitors and shit like that and different things. This is a big PC dude, really gets into the nooks and crannies of stuff. Pro PC all the way. Listen to what he has to say.
Nothing I say, nothing Steve says, or his apostles, nothing Linus says makes a difference. We don't change anything. Do you know why? This is not where NVIDIA makes its money anymore. It's all AI. And all you need to look at is just since 2010, when I showed you these GPU price inflations and price changes, look at the stock. And do you know who NVIDIA is interested in appeasing? It's those people who own that stock. This is a troubling trend, as you can see. This is why I say that this is nothing more than a rich person's hobby. And that really sucks, because if you actually scroll around Reddit or any other PC forums or whatever, there are an awful lot of people saying, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a PS5 Pro and a monitor for cheaper than what one graphics card would cost. Fuck PC gaming.
Bruh. What? Y'all heard that shit?
Y'all hear that shit? A PC dude.
Yep.
A fucking channel that is just about PC.
All PC.
Tells you the fucking companies that made those fucking parts don't give a fuck about you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is.
And he says, fucking buy a PS5 Pro. Like, I would never imagine in 2025 a PC channel telling you that.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So, again, people tried to battle us, call us names, say all types of shit about you. You guys are just licking PlayStation. Hell, we just battled y'all for about 40 minutes. Y'all just licking PlayStation. The Pro really isn't that good, you know. And then what are we hearing? Cold blood, PC. PC's where it's at. Remember when Jazz Gordon? Remember when PlayStation had those phenomenal fucking numbers? What does Jazz Gordon do? He say, "Well, I mean, that's not real growth. It's not real growth. The real growth is PC. Everything's on PC." And then what did we find out? Was that Take Two? Did you sent me a chart on Take Two, Cold Blood, where the growth was like 8% on PC and shit like that, or 8% of their profits was
Yeah.
PC. Yeah.
8%, bro.
8% of their revenue was from PC.
That is the most laughable fucking I don't know, the most laughable way to look at growth, bro. I guess.
Here. Okay.
Look up who made up the most sales for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I am curious now. Because it better be 50-50 with PlayStation and PC. Because if not, oh my god. Because that is a PC fucking game.
I want to put this up. Take-Two, who is sitting there telling you PC. Look, I'm gonna look that up too. I'm gonna look up, but here's the tweet. Take-Two net bookings by platform. So 52% was on mobile, 40% was on console, 8% was on PC. Okay, so here's what I want to explain to you guys. Again, this is Fortune 500 stuff. When you are a publicly traded company, you have two competitors that you're dealing with. Competitor number one is the other people in the same field that you're in. Competitor two is yourself. You not only have to outperform the other companies that are in your same sector, but you have to outperform yourself like you did what you did the previous year. That's why they're always comparing year over year, because they want to see growth. They want to see growth because as people invest their money into you, they want to make sure that their dollar is turning into $1.50, $2, $3. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's a simple concept to understand. When companies talk like this, they are talking like this because they want to still look attractive to investors. See, y'all don't pay attention to business. That's why y'all spent the last 45 minutes arguing with us over actual business setting stuff. Y'all ain't the only ones doing it. Y'all got the Xbox fan base that want to, talk PC. They're doing it, not understanding that they're diving into a conversation that has nothing to do with them. This is just shit, souped up shit for investors, propagated to them by these companies so they can look attractive, so they can keep investing their money. Look at that. We've only reached the tip of the iceberg with PC. We've only reached the tip of the iceberg. They rapidly grown. How can I say this with utmost confidence? Because we've seen this. I've seen it with something that I support. Cloud gaming. Let me see if I can find this. I won't bore you guys with it. I'll show it during the member show. There was a report by NASDAQ that came out 2018 that I want y'all to just remember, that NASDAQ report 2018. All while when Stadia and all these cloud gaming services were coming up and people were like, the future is the cloud and the future is now the cloud. People were getting all these reports from investors. There was rumors Walmart was going to get into it. Verizon was going to get into it. EA still got a thingy out there. It was cloud. They were talking about the compound annual growth rate was higher than anything else, meaning the amount of money they were making based off of what was invested into them. So you see all these high numbers and percentages when basically compound annual growth rate is just simply how much you were able to double your money. So if you give me $1 and I give you $2 back, your compound annual growth rate is 100%. That's a phenomenal percentage, but we're only talking about $1 going from $2. Now, if you talk about regular business where I invest 100 million into it and maybe I'll get 130 million back, okay, that's a 30% compound annual growth rate. Does that mean that Company A with the 100% compound annual growth rate is more profitable than Company B? No, because Company B just made 130 million versus Company A that just made $2. You understand? So you guys are seeing charts and seeing conversations and stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the conversations that you're having as a consumer, as a gaming consumer. This is just souped up stuff to trick investors into thinking, oh, we got a higher ceiling. We're going to get there. They did the same thing with cloud gaming. Now back to NASDAQ. NASDAQ came out with a report and they said, slow your roll. Cloud gaming is only going to get to 5% possibly by 2027. I remember seeing that report. I remember telling my contemporaries in the cloud space, slow down, y'all. This is not going to happen overnight. Oh, no, cloud gaming is going to do it. xCloud's going to do it. Stadia's going to do it. Luna's going to. I said, no, this is going to be a slow ride. And then as cloud gaming didn't flip over as they thought it was going to flip, a lot of them abandoned it. I haven't abandoned it because I paid attention to the facts. So what people like Take-Two and others are trying to tell you is that, look, PC gaming is growing. It went up. Its compound annual growth rate is like 150%. Sure. Look, if you go from 2 to 4 million, percentage wise, that's a pretty hefty percentage. But you got to look at the raw numbers. It's only 2 to 4 million versus if console gaming goes up from 350 million to 375, that's a lower percentage, but it's more people. So you guys got to better understand what's happening behind these percentages and realize these are not conversations for you. Xbox's escapade into PC gaming, when you have situations like this, look, homie is telling you, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. The games that you want to play, console gamer, you want to be able to play those same games on PC? You're paying for it. It's expensive. Now, Cold Blood, made me realize that AMD can give you, decent returns for significantly cheaper, but still people want that DLSS. It's expensive. And what did he say? Let's play it back. I didn't get on the phone with this dude and tell him to say what he said. Let's play back what he said.
At the stock. And do you know who NVIDIA is interested in appeasing? It's those people who own that stock. This is a troubling trend. As you can see, this is why I say that this is nothing more than a rich person's hobby. And that really sucks, because if you actually scroll around Reddit or any other PC forums or whatever, there are an awful lot of people saying, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a PS5 Pro and a monitor for cheaper than what one graphics card would cost. Fuck PC gaming.
Let's take you back to the graph. We're gonna teach y'all how to understand facts and data. I don't want to gore you guys with it, but some of this stuff that y'all say makes my nose bleed. Look at this. This is a chart of the different GPUs out there over a stretch of time. This is another chart that is gauging launch price versus gamer happiness displayed in gamer satisfaction. So people were polled after getting said GPUs and polled and asked, what are your thoughts on this? And as time has progressed, people are getting less and less happy with the results that they're getting. But if you want a game on PC, these are the parts that you need. And look, it's plummeted. Gamer happiness is plummeted. Look at this. Cold Blood, while we're here, let's talk, because this is relative, because the Xbox people are trying to convince us you got to go to PC. And again, pay attention to the facts. The average gamer that has made the move, they're less and less happy over the expansions of these PC cards. Cold Blood, you're more of an aficionado than I am on this. What are your thoughts on the 50 series GT or RTX cards? What are your thoughts on those?
Well, they are non-existent. They literally fucking burn out on the connector.
Crazy.
The amount of performance gains you get from those new cards is just laughable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about AI.
Yes.
And I am not interested in fucking AI. I don't give a shit. If I wanted to upgrade my PC,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing I am interested in is how much more horsepower does the new GPU has.
Yeah.
And if they say that fucking GPU just barely has 5% more performance in games, then why the fuck do I need it?
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between 110 FPS and 120 at that point? For
$3,000.
$1,000 or fucking $2,000?
Yeah.
Or now because those cards don't even exist, you gotta pay fucking scalper prices like $3,000 for a fucking GPU. Nah, this is probably the biggest fail in NVIDIA history.
Mm-hmm.
The 50 series is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And I would say just don't buy nothing right now because there's no reason. If you got a 40 or 30 series card, you're fucking good. Don't even bother. The only ones that I would even suggest to even think about a 50 series card would be those that have a fucking 1080 or something, because those cards are fucking obsolete at this point.
Yeah.
And even then, I would caution them because, like I said, those connectors right now are a fucking fire hazard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just recently upgraded and got a 4070 Super from my brother. Shout out to him.
Yeah, okay, but look, if you get it for free, of course, just put it in a fucking PC and be fucking glad you got something.
Yeah,
that is different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one guy that has the fucking money to buy it, but is still on the fence. I'm talking about those.
Yeah, I would say if you have a 3070 and you got to and you feel like you have to upgrade, get you a 40 series. I wouldn't even mess with the 50 series.
Yeah, but only if you can get the 40 series at a very cheap price.
Yeah, if you get a cheap price.
Because if you get it at MSRP right now, then it's still too fucking expensive.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. And basically, Cold Blood, the way I see it, and I don't mind AI to a certain extent, but I just don't think that the 50 series is even worth it. Like, whatever this AI technology is, I feel like they could have put it in the 40 series card. So basically,
the only thing this AI shit is doing is improving a fucking multi-frame generation and DLSS.
Yeah.
The cards themselves, they're literally a 4090 Super.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Or a 4080 Super times 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they are not that fucking powerful from the generation before that.
So
it's all this AI shit, but who's gonna use this? I mean, sure, you can have 200 plus FPS in Black Myth Wukong. Why? Why do you need that? Like, why would you need 200 FPS in Black Myth Wukong? What's the fucking point?
So you can swing.
For the price of a used car.
You can swing around them trees, man. What are you talking about?
What the fuck, man?
You can swing around them trees faster, man. What are you talking about, man?
Oh my god. I'm dying.
Yeah, swing around them trees faster, man.
Look,
what you talking about?
Look, PC gaming is fucking cooked.
Mm-hmm.
With the fucking pricing of those cards,
Mm-hmm.
with the availability of those cards,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing growing there right now. Nvidia did not bring out the 50 series to grow the fucking PC market. Absolutely not. They probably, you know what? They probably released those, got some poor suckers to buy those fucking exploding ass GPUs. Yeah, and the rest of them go to the actual server farms and shit.
Yeah.
For whatever they do, fucking movies or whatever, where they actually use all this fucking AI shit and stuff. I don't know, or probably some supercomputers. I don't know.
Oh shit! Here, I'll say this. At this point, and don't get me wrong, I love gaming on PC. I enjoy it. But I'll say this, and Cree, I see your comment. I'm gonna get to you in a second, brother. Right? If you guys think about it, like really think about it. With each new graphics card, you're basically paying NVIDIA to beta test their AI. That's all you're doing.
Right? I mean, kind of the same with PS5 Pro, if we're being honest. But
yeah, true. But the gains that you get from, at least from the PS5 to the Pro, they are significant. But when you look at the 4070 to the 5070, for instance, or whatever, there's no excuse. I'm sorry. There's nothing in, I don't feel there's anything in that 40 series card to where that updated AI can't be put in there. I don't believe it. It's AI.
No, look, most of those features the 40 series can use too.
Yeah, I know.
DLSS 4,
Mm-hmm.
those old cards can use it too.
Yeah. Yep.
So really, it's only a frame generation, but like I said, frame generation has so much problems.
Mm-hmm.
And if your fucking graphics card is not even powerful enough to be at 60 at 4K,
Mm-hmm.
then no frame generation will help you.
Yeah,
I hope people understand what I mean by that, because if your game ain't running already at 60, then frame generation is not gonna smooth it out enough,
make it,
that you don't feel the fucking
latency.
delay. Yeah.
Yep.
And also, image quality wise, there's still problems. I just watched a video today, and my god, the ghosting and shit, and sometimes when something goes in front of something and then it goes away, it becomes fucking mush and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it's very clearly visible that something changed and it looks like shit. So it's still in its fucking beta phase, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Idiots, bro, and idiots buy them fucking graphics cards for more than $2,000. I will never understand this. Like $1,000 is already a lot of money for a GPU, yeah?
Yeah.
But 2000, that's a whole PC. That's another whole PC, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, Creed would like you to know, Cold Blood, that he's extremely happy with his video card. And Creed, that's fine. You know, hey, whatever you do, you do. We're just talking to the general public.
Which one? Which one?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have a 50 series card, Creed? Is that what you got?
Because there's a big difference if he says I'm happy with my 30 series card, because I'm not talking about that at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got
because
a 4080
back when
Super.
the
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. 40. You got a 4080 Super. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, of course you'll be happy because you got the better 4080 for a cheaper price.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah.
If it don't concern you, let it fly. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the 50 series. That 50 series is just fucking bad.
I think people have difficulty, Cold Blood, with the nuance and stuff. Like they'll hear us say something like PlayStation, and they tense up, and then, you know, if you like your NVIDIA cards, like, oh, you said NVIDIA, yeah, no, we're talking about this 50 series card, Creed. I mean, like, what are your thoughts, Creed? Let us know, Creed, rather. There's nothing wrong with your 4080.
I think people forgot what it's actually all about here. It's about the PC growth.
Mm-hmm.
New graphics cards don't push PC growth.
Yeah.
Because they are too fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
The availability of those cards is almost non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
And people on PC just don't buy games as much. Let's be real here. Do you still have that one picture of the sales?
You talking about this one?
What do you call it?
The net bookings?
Where you have Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, and the percentages of games? Do you still have that?
No, I don't. Did you send that to me?
I think I did at some point, probably.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know. But I mean, we know just off of the money made, like Steam is what, around 12 billion. PlayStation is what 26, 27 or something like that. Like, come on now. The PlayStation marketplace is king. The PlayStation marketplace, and particularly the PlayStation 5 marketplace, is king. You get a lot of loudmouths on the internet that'll try to convince you otherwise. But it is what it is. And another reason why it's king is because when it comes to these pricier AAA developed games, you do the math, only 17% of the Steam PCs out there can play these games. Unless they're playing everything at low settings, you know, at 5 frames per second, they can try it. But really, there's only 17% of the PCs out there that can play these games at the recommended settings. So it's not, so that the whole pool isn't as big as people make it out to be. It you know, when you can factor in, it's only 17%. If you do the math, if the numbers that I have are right, it's less than the 350 million consoles that are out there. So, yeah. I mean, they can tell you the future is PC all they want. I don't see it, for one, and for two. Now the king is PlayStation right now, and now you got people frustrated with these latest 50 series cards. And shit, you saw J2 Cents. He said fuck PC game. God damn. He said, fuck PC gaming and take your ass and get you a PlayStation 5 Pro. Ain't that some shit? Free says, a lot of PC gamers aren't interested in playing console ports. 17% even sounds high. No, I know a lot of PC gamers aren't. Look, if you're willing to spend thousands of dollars on your rig, you're attached to that way of gaming, and that's fine. I'm just saying. All this extra growth that they're trying to market to you, and PC's where it's at, it's a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. It's the same shit that we heard on cloud gaming, and I totally believe in cloud gaming, but it's going to take us a while to get there. I don't know. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, if these PC parts keep going up and up and up, in the margin of power, you know, it keeps slimming down. At some point in time, people are going to say, "Fuck it." I'm not. They're going to say, "Fuck it." I'm not going to.
I found it for you, Mos.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep. It's coming straight from Sakana themselves.
I haven't seen this one. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Holy shit.
I mean, sure, Steam has outgrown fucking Xbox in fucking seconds. Sure. But that ain't a fucking achievement.
Wow.
Still, look at the PlayStation numbers.
Come on, man. So these are the top games over a period of time. To give you an example of what's going on where. 62% of Elden Ring, Tree, PlayStation, 30% Steam, 8% Xbox. Dragon Ball, whatever, Zero, the latest Dragon Ball game, 70% PlayStation, 22% Steam, 8% Xbox. Metaphor, 70% Steam, PlayStation, 22% Steam, 8% Xbox. Space Marine 2, 56%. And look, Space Marine games are at heart PC games. Look, 56% PlayStation, 32% Steam, 12% Xbox. Dragon's Dogma, 67% PlayStation, 23% Steam, 10% Xbox. Tekken 8, 76% Steam. 76% PlayStation, 16% Steam, 8% Xbox. Persona 3 Reload, 56% PlayStation, 39% Steam, 5% Xbox. Like a Dragon, 86% PlayStation, 11% Steam, 3% Xbox. And lastly, EA Sports FC 25, 52% PlayStation, 35% Steam, 13% Xbox. Now, a lot of you might be saying, well, this is Sakan, it's only US. Shuhei Yoshida said it himself. Two biggest PC regions are US and China, right?
I will retort that immediately with most of these games, Chinese people don't give a fuck.
Exactly. So if you were sitting there thinking, oh, well, the Chinese, no. And they don't give a fuck. Yeah, most of these games, they don't give a fuck about. I'm looking at maybe Dragon Ball, maybe Elden Ring. Persona 3, maybe. But yeah, Chinese gaming is quite different, and they're very unique. But yeah, there you have it. The PlayStation marketplace is fucking king, man. Fucking king. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys, but this whole Xbox refugee, we're trying to convince you that PC's where it's at. Like, pump your brakes in. You guys got to get, you got, and none of these, and here's the thing, Cold Blood. This is why I say a lot of these people cap, because a lot of these motherfuckers ain't even playing these games. They don't, look, I had a 3070. I couldn't play a lot of these games at a reasonable level unless I bumped everything down to 1440p. Look, got nothing wrong if you like 1440p. For me, 14, this is 2025, son. Not doing 1440p. Nah, not doing it. Nah. 4K 60. Yeah. You know what I mean? All right. So, a lot of you that are, basing your, placing your money and hedging your bets on PC, understand that these charts are representative of conversations with investors. This is not stuff that you guys should be leaning on yourself. If anything, understand that PC gaming is getting more and more expensive, and NVIDIA don't give a damn, because they're trying to train their AI and machine learning. The AI is their number one business. And look, if they can piggyback the hardware and keep it expensive, that, in order to promote and train its AI, they're making hand over fist. Yeah. It says Persona 3 Reload was on Game Pass too. Whoa, yeah. I do want to play you guys something. Let me see if I still have the clip. I still have the clip. I gotta find it. Hold on, give me a second. I want to play you guys something about that. Because there's just a lot of misinformation about the fluidity of subscription services. Let me go to history. I think this is it. Is this it? There we go. Okay. All right. I want you guys to listen to this clip right here. Very telling. This is exactly why subscription services will not dominate. You guys keep hearing PC gaming is the future. Subscription services are going to dominate, right? Now it's handhelds. You understand that you're hearing all this shit from the same company who's wrong about everything. Cloud gaming is going to take over. They're hedging their bets on cloud gaming. And I'm a big cloud gaming advocate. I love cloud gaming. But it's going to take some time. But you notice how there's only one company that's saying all this shit first, and then all these other companies are just lapping it up after they say it. There's only one company. I want you to listen to why. This is Matt Piscatella, the aforementioned Circana, breaking down to you the spending habits of the average gamer. I want you to listen to this. Then I want you to cross-reference it to subscription gaming. And then I want you to tell us where you've heard this before. Here we go.
30% of people that play video games will not buy a video game this year.
Wow.
So that's a third of the audience that just won't buy. A further 18% purchase a new game every 6 months or less frequently. So these are your folks that are buying Madden or EAFC, or they're picking up Call of Duty, right? Your big mass market.
Let's hear that percentage
kind
again.
of duty, right? Your big mass market. These are your folks that are buying, purchase a new game every 6. A further 18% purchase a new game every 6 months or less frequently. So these are your folks that are buying Madden or EAFC, or they're picking up Call of Duty, right? Your big mass market only kind of buyer. The kind of purchaser that's watching this show,
listen to this.
You're probably buying at least one game a month, maybe more. Only 12% of video game players buy a game once a month. Only 4% buy games more often than once per month. So, when we're talking about the developers and the publishers that are really being, hurt the most, that we're talking the most about, are the games that are really targeting this like 16%.
Did you guys hear that? So number one, that tells you why subscription services just don't work. Because the average gamer just is not playing those many games. 48% alone of people buy 0 to 2 games a year. 48%. Only 4 to 12% buy 1 or more game a month. Where have you heard that at? You've heard it here. We've told, now the numbers we've given you is 5 to I said 5 to 15%. But, you know, Matt combs through the data. It's more accurately is 4 to 12%. We were off a percentage to 3, you know. We were under margin of error 4%, but we were off by 3%. So those of you that are listening to this podcast, y'all fit closer to maybe to the 4%, right? This is why subscription services will not work, because the average gamer isn't going to buy these games. It is the 4% of that 4% that might flock to the subscription services, and as much money that goes into developing these games that are dumped into the subscription services, there's no way with 4% of gamers you're going to make that money back. So that's why subscription services are doomed if they go day and date, unless their day and date model gives them the same return annually that will be gotten if the subscriptions, you know, if the games were sold a la carte, like Ubisoft Plus. Ubisoft Plus, they drop about 2 or 3 games a year. Ubisoft Plus is about $210 a year. So that's what? That's roughly around what, 200, you know what I mean? Oh no, Ubisoft Plus is more than 200. It's $240 a year. But you know, so they make $30 off of it. Game Pass is completely different. They put way more money into Game Pass than they get back out of the annual subscription money. The problem is that they would need a whole bunch of people to sign up for Game Pass that fit into that 48% that buy 0 to 2 games a year. Why would they get Game Pass? Why would they get it? Why would they spend $240 a year for a game that they just spend $70 on? They can buy 2 of them for $140. Why would they do that? Why would they spend an extra $100 a year? It doesn't make any sense. That's why day and date subscription services on gaming are not going to work. They may work for Spotify, Netflix, all of it. They don't work for gaming. Number 2. This is why we drive data home to you guys. Because we guys want you to understand how things really work. Not how people want things to work, how things really work. So understand, when we're giving you this data, giving you this information, it's based off of research, it's based off of knowledge, okay? Juice says Microsoft putting Call of Duty on Game Pass killed their bottom line. It surely did affect it. They only went up 2%. That's disgusting. Your biggest call to action was Call of Duty, Game Pass. What's up, Geek? Ain't heard from you in a minute, Geek. You must have been traveling. Your biggest call to action was Game Pass, subscription service. Game Pass is now on these Fire TVs. There are tens of millions of Fire TV devices out there. Game Pass is everywhere now. If there was anything that would have shown you if this is an Xbox had promised as a campaign, it would be this critically acclaimed, heavily marketed, and heavily praised Call of Duty in a lot of regards. I know there's issues with it, but you know, commercially, it's been getting all this acclaim. That dropping day and date for the first time, we're talking about Call of Duty dropping day and date for the first time in Game Pass. If that didn't bring the people out you know, like at the lowest, I was expecting a 5% bump in services. I was not expecting services to be down over. I wasn't expecting services to be negative at all. Here's what would have been, especially because Xbox has been free falling. Here's what would have been good numbers. If games and services would have went up around 10%, anywhere between 7 to 10%. And if the overall gaming revenue would have been up anywhere between 2 to 5%, that would have been like, oh damn, okay. They're you know, aren't huge numbers. They ain't PlayStation numbers, of course, because you ain't PlayStation. But that would have been a signal that, oh, there might be something with this. This is an Xbox campaign. There might be something with this. Let's put Call of Duty and Game Pass day and date. These numbers are not good. They're not good. And that is a reason why, Juice, that is one of the games that Xbox people would buy. You know, so yeah, so I don't have any faith in a next generation console. Definitely not a console. I don't even know what the hardware would be. I will say this. I think Xbox, they're stuck in between a rock and a hard place because they cannot forgo the services and the microtransactions and the stuff that are allotted to the console. So they got to figure out something. They definitely need to figure out something, because what are they going to do with all the games that you bought on Xbox consoles? How are they going to carry them over? They can run emulators and do all this shit, you know what I'm saying, with the AI or whatever, you know, to preserve games and put them on PC. They can do that with their games, but EA and Take-Two ain't gonna let you do that with their games. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna have to figure out ways to emulate those games, and that's not so hard. The problem is they got to get approval, but the bigger problem, the real big problem is that how a lot of people bought discs. So who's going to be able to access, let's say for instance, GTA 5, their Xbox version of GTA 5. Who's going to be able to access that on PC? If you bought a disc. If you bought a disc, how are you going to get that? What is the program going to look like? I remember years ago, like I think it was 2017, there were talks about them maybe going down this diskless path and them thinking about a trade-in program. you trade in a gun and shit, and you trade in a gun for a pair of new Jordans or some shit. But this new trade-in program where you trade in your disc for a code. Like, how's that going to work? Who's going to grant that? Who's going to grant that? Because again, EA and Take-Two would then have to take that license, would have to, you know, award you a digital license at no extra cost. Look, EA and Take-Two, they don't give a shit that Xbox is out of business. They don't give a fuck. Now, granted, remember when Stadia closed down? Okay, Stadia had like 100,000 active users or some shit like that. Maybe a couple 100,000 active users at the time. It shut down, maybe more. I don't know. That's not a lot of people. So, you know, developers came out of the woodwork to make themselves look good. Oh, we're going to give you a PC code. We're going to fucking Xbox has 10 million, you know, I would say about 50 million between Xbox One and Xbox Series. Probably about 50, maybe 60, 70 million, right? They're not trading in them codes. They're not trading, they're not giving you digital codes to anywhere between 50 to 70 million people. You can forget it. You can forget it. you guys are in a rock and a hard place. That's why I told you guys. I really think that your best bet is to just go ahead and you better go to PlayStation now. I'm sorry. You know, if you can afford the PC, build the PC if you can afford it and play on Game Pass. My suggestion is you're probably better off just getting you a decent 30 series card for the cheap, 40 if you can get one cheaper. Get your GeForce Now Ultimate. That way you ain't got to spend a whole bunch of money and just use their cloud service and play your Xbox games. That's probably your best bet. So, all right. So that's that. We've already talked about PlayStation more than I want to. Unless Cobra, did you have something else that you wanted to say about PlayStation?
About PlayStation,
No. All right. Avowed. I'll give you guys a quick rundown on Avowed. Let me see here. So, and let me see if I can find some gameplay here. So, I played Avowed. I got a few hours in. I'm not gonna sit there in front like I got like 5 hours in. I got a few hours in, but I feel like even with the few hours, I got a good enough feel of the main mechanics in the game. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Let's go to YouTube. We'll do like a question and answer section. YouTube. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong YouTube. Okay, let's switch this over. Switch account. All right. And then we're going to pull this up. YouTube Studio. I'm going to pull up some of this Avowed gameplay. Uh-oh. Hold on. Is today the 20th? No, today's the 21st. So this, okay. No, that's not Avowed. That's something else. Where is the Avowed gameplay? Oh, I cannot find it. That is, oh, no. I know where it's at.
You're bought it. No.
Oh, am I bought? You said I'm boughten? Oh, am I boughten? Let's see here. Can you hear me now, Cold Blood?
Well, you're still bought it.
Oh, I'm still boughten. Damn it. It's because why am I boughten? All I'm doing is, let me hop out and hop back in. Okay, what about now? Am I still boughten?
No.
Okay, good. All right. That was weird. Why was I boughten? All right, let's play this Avowed gameplay. Let me play the gameplay. Is it just 1080? I just want it on 1080. There we go. Okay. All right. So now we can show you some of this Avowed gameplay while I talk about this damn game. Like the game is the game looks, here's the positives about the game. Game is very good looking. The textures and stuff look good. Some of the still animations, like when you guys are talking, they look good. They do. I hear people say they reward you for exploring. An RPG's supposed to do that. You know, you're supposed to explore in an RPG, right? So I don't see that it rewards you any more than any other typical RPG, right? Trying to get y'all to the action. But okay,
You know,
yeah.
they tell you that exact point every time when they can't find anything positive about the game.
Yeah, you get rewarded for explore. I mean, okay, that's like saying in a basketball game, you get points for shooting the basket. But here's the problem with the game. The combat is janky, and when they were talking about there's jank in the game, yeah. The combat is janky and it's dated, and it's not good. It's not appealing at all. Outside of the visuals, the game feels AA all the way. It feels like a AA game all the way, which that within itself is not bad. It's not horrible. Like, so if you got nothing else to play and you're like, oh man, I want like an open world RPG.
You're boring again.
Oh, hold on. Maybe it's because, let me see. Do I have something running? Okay, what about now? Am I botting again?
Yep. Still
hold on,
botting.
let me get out. Maybe they like, how about now?
No, you're still botting.
God damn it, hold on. Now?
No, no change.
God damn it, hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Second. Damn it. No change still?
No, now it's good.
Okay, all right. They
I
probably,
asked chat to confirm if it's on my end, but nobody
it might
said
be on
anything
your
yet.
end, but still, I don't want to be botting for you. I'm about to end this game. It could be me playing because I got, which it shouldn't even fucking matter. Yeah, but the game is, it's okay. It's mid. Like I got new gameplay that I recorded late last night when I got home. I'm tired as hell. By the way, I got new gameplay that I recorded late last night, and I got into like a boss fight. You know what this game feels like, bro? I'm gonna be honest with you. You want to know what this game feels like? And I'm not bullshitting you. It feels like it feels like a medieval what, I can't believe I forgot that. I just forgot the name of the game. What's the name of Obsidian's other game? With the fucking ants and shit.
Grounded.
Grounded. It feels like a medieval Grounded, the way the combat is. So they basically took that stiff, janky looking combat that's in Grounded, you know, added some magical element effects to it. It reminds me, and I thought it just hit me because I remember playing Grounded when it launched. This feels a lot like Grounded. The combat is just so, oh my God. Let me get to this boss fight that I had. So we can get to this boss fight. very stiff. Like I even played it in third person. Yeah, I'm probably botting again. It's got something to do with YouTube. Okay. Like just the movement and stuff. It's, oh God. Like, okay, this is a AA game, which is fine. I'm not mad at the game for it being a AA game. Not a problem. My thing is that the thing that continuously hurts Xbox games, and we've seen it with Redfall. We've seen it with Indiana Jones, and we're seeing it with this game, is that to me, in my opinion, well, not even with Redfall. Redfall was just an abomination across the board. You're seeing situations where you clearly have AA games. And Cold Blood, we've talked about this here, where Matt Booty said their goal was to make AA games with AAA polish. This is definitely,
bro.
Go ahead.
All these Xbox games is the shit effect. like the shit from the ass. from booty. That's exactly what the fuck it is.
Yeah. It's definitely shitty ass syndrome. It's SAS. This is shitty ass syndrome. Now, look, this is me in third person. This is so stiff. And just look at the AI. I mean, it's dated. It's very dated. Like if you guys watched my my thingy gameplay, like even Dragon Age game, which Dragon Age gameplay wasn't horrible, but even Dragon Age, but it wasn't awesome either. It was for a while it was pretty good until it started getting too repetitive. But even Dragon Age gameplay, is better than this. And guess what Dragon Age did? They charged just $50 for their game. And I feel like Dragon Age has more polish than this. Now, maybe this is bigger than Dragon Age as far as like the open world aspects or the exploration aspects of it. Maybe it's bigger, but still, I feel like Dragon Age was more polished than this. Yeah, the game is a AA game. Nothing wrong with that. Here's the problem that Xbox keeps running into. They keep trying to charge you AAA prices for AA games. If you want to be the provider of AA games with AAA polish, then overachieve. Provide that AA game, give it that AAA spit polish, but charge a AA price for it, which is $50 in 2025. If you started doing that, I would feel they would see a lot more success. Let's see where it's at on Steam. I would feel like that. Now it's the weekend. There's no excuse, right? There's no excuse on why Avowed shouldn't be. Oh my God. Let me pause this shit. This is sad. And we already know. I don't want to hear, well, it's in Game Pass. We already know that the Game Pass usage isn't enough to supplement poor sales. Right? They need great sales to subsidize Game Pass, or you're running into a problem. That's why you don't hear about Indiana Jones anymore. The game is peaked at 14,000. This is the fucking weekend. This is the weekend. It's peaked at 14,000 on Steam.
Do you think
this is the problem?
Game
I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
Do you think this game was priced $30 too high?
I would say $20 or $30, yeah, maybe $30 too. Yeah, I think Microsoft makes a bunch of $39.99, $49.99 at most. None of their games outside of Call of Duty. Maybe what else? Maybe if Bethesda makes something, it should be $70. I mean, you could still have a bad $70 game, but you could say that the efforts are worth $70. Just the game isn't a good $70 game. But none of this shit that we've been seeing as of late is worth $70. Avowed is definitely not a $70 game. It should be $39.99 if you really want it to fly off the shelves. I think $49.99 if you want it to do okay. And you be the purveyor of AA games with AAA spit polish. That's what you should do. This is not a $70 game. This is why their games fail. Fucking Indiana Jones. That wasn't. I'm sorry. It looked good. Not a $70 game. You know, Geek to Sneak says, I've seen good reviews and a few bad reviews. I trust me, so I'll give it a go this weekend. And they need you, Geek. They need you on that motherfucker right now. There's only 14,000 people on it. You know what I mean? Come on. Get on that mug. Juice says at MM2, hold on, let me go back to the social blade. Juice says at MM2K, do you think Xbox has its eyes on Tencent and is taking the place and take its place? Yeah, Microsoft wants to be, and I've argued this for the last few years. Microsoft wants to be the Western Tencent. They want to be the Western Tencent. But the difference between them and Tencent is at least Tencent, I guess, for the games that they make for the Chinese audience, they have an eye for quality. And they've made all the right investments into all the right companies. Microsoft, absolutely not. They have the war chest to try to duplicate what they're doing. They just don't have the leadership. That's their problem. And then another thing too is we heard from Bobby Kotick. Remember, Bobby Kotick did an interview. Now, he's a sleaze bucket, but he did sit down with somebody and he broke it down to you why he wanted to sell Activision. He said, look, man, we're now in the business with these Asian companies, and these motherfuckers, like, they work 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and they do it and they don't bat an eye. Like, that's just part of their culture. Because they want to outperform us that bad that they will do this, right? And he said, "Look, we don't have access to that. We don't have access to the workers that are going to do that shit." And the shit, and he says, "Don't say they don't have an imagination. They have an imagination." So when you have that level of commitment at your fingertips. He said it's only a matter of time before we get outdone. You know, in so many words, he's saying it's only a matter of time before they make some type of Asian or Chinese Call of Duty that beats us and we'll never be able to compete. He said, so look, I wanted to eat, you know, I want to get the fuck out now. Cash my chips in now. And that's what he did. We told you of the Eastern takeover. We kept telling you guys about that. And Microsoft, they don't have that. Like there's something embedded in the culture of Microsoft. They're not results driven. They're not results driven. I mean, it's just an Asian thing too. And I hate to say it like that. I don't want to sound like some xenophobic prick. I'm not. But I've worked with a lot of Japanese, I've worked with mainly Japanese companies. Their quality of standards when it comes to products and services, The only thing that we have on our side are engineers. Our engineers aren't to be fucked with. And that's because they're so close to Silicon Valley. Like the engineers in the West and even in Europe, they're bad as fuck. And the unions take care of them. We got the best engineers in the world, right? When it comes to like cybersecurity and networks and shit like that. We are the shit. We are the creme de la creme. Opposite of that, anything technical? Yeah. And that's just because they have a workforce that all they live, sleep, and eat to take down and show that they're better than the West. And so then you take that and then you combine it with leadership that is not results-based driven. Like the only person that's gone at Microsoft is Albert Panella and Kareem Chaudhry. Like Shannon Loftus got let go because she said she called somebody fat on Twitter. That's the quality of standards at Xbox. But nobody else is gone. Again, Shannon Loftus was let go because she called somebody fat on Twitter. Kareem Chaudhry is gone for basically doing the dumb shit that Phil Spencer wanted him to do, which was put consoles in the sky. That was dumb. And then last but not least, Albert Panella was let go. And he was done dirty only for, what's the dude's name? The guy with the funny beard. I don't know why I'm forgetting everything. What's the guy with the funny beard? Ron, what's his last name?
Ronald.
Jason Ronald. Jason Ronald. Only Albert Panella gets replaced with Jason Ronald. Jason Ronald completely botches this console generation. This is the worst. I mean, come on. Mark Cerny, Jason Ronald. Mark Cerny, Jason Ronald. Mark Cerny, Jason Ronald. And Jason Ronald stays? Okay. There's just not that culture at PlayStation, at Xbox anymore. There's not the culture there. They don't give a fuck about being results-based driven. They'll put something together, put it out there. If it succeeds, it stays. If it dies, then sell off the company. So, you know what I mean? Geek to Sneak says $100 is too much for any game unless you're buying a collector's edition. Well, yeah, I think the price difference for PlayStation Sweden that's why. I think things are just more expensive there. So yeah. Avowed is okay. Like if you look, I'm not telling anybody not to try it. It's on Game Pass. Like, yeah, try it. I'm just saying, and again, you might actually enjoy it. There are gamers that are sitting there and enjoying it. I will say this though. If you are a gamer that doesn't frequent PlayStation, right? Outside of Stalker 2, it's been dry for you. I'm not, again, look, PlayStation gamers have a crazy backlog. Like just off this year alone, I still got to finish, almost said Concord. I still got to finish Stellar Blade. I'm getting closer and closer, y'all. Grand Blue Fantasy.
No, you finished Concord. You finished it so hard it died in minutes. Oh
gosh, but yeah, there's just such a backlog just from this year alone. PlayStation gamers finally get to play catch up, and I'm not using that as an excuse to say, yeah, you know, like, because I remember when Phil Spencer said that in 2023, yeah, we're letting gamers play catch up. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, if you were not a PlayStation gamer, you've been starving. Okay. So, of course, a game like Avowed that comes your way, that's just mindless RPG action, regardless of how stiff or how bad it is, as far as the combat is concerned. It's a godsend. And if you got Game Pass, absolutely. I have PC Game Pass. That's how I'm playing it. I wouldn't tell anybody, look, I got PC Game Pass for 2 months for $8.99. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't tell anybody not to take advantage of Game Pass. Find you a code online and take advantage. Like I said, I got PC Game Pass 2 months for $8.99. Absolutely play it. I'm just saying, I'm making an observation. There's a serious problem with Xbox. The problem is related to the pricing of their games, and they shouldn't be this high. You know what I mean? So, okay. Any more questions before we get out of here? He says PC Game Pass codes are yep, they are. If you have a gaming PC and you can play these games on there, yeah, absolutely. PC Game Pass is, yeah, oh, hell yeah, man. I think this shit is awesome. It's awesome because I get to try these games out for $5 a month, essentially. It's not bad. I get to try these games out. I don't have to really commit to them. I don't have to sit there and watch my clock and say, am I almost at 2 hours before I refund this game? I don't have to do that. Geek the Sneak says, I feel like it's an issue of too many hands in the pot. No. I mean, in my opinion, I'll say it rather like this, Geek. In my opinion, I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue simply is they don't have good leadership. Like, you may have missed it, Geek. We spent like the first 45 minutes to an hour arguing about Yoshida. Here's what I think we all can agree on, unless you're crazy. Yoshida is the fucking man. He's the man. Regardless if you want to blame him for Concord or whatever the case may be, or you want to, cap for Jim Ryan, whatever. Yoshida is like an S-tier exec for PlayStation. We say that infamously because he went and told Cory Barlog, now he saw something in the God of War reboot, said no, take that shit back, and they had to redo it, and we got God of War 2018 because of it. That's what solidified his godhood status, right? But no, there's nobody at Xbox like that. Nobody. I mean, the biggest name talent-wise at Xbox in the development realm was Todd Howard. And look what he did. We got Starfield. There's nobody else like that at Xbox. There's nobody like that at Xbox, period. Matt Booty and Phil Spencer clearly don't know what it takes to make a good game. Or it could be with Matt Booty, the directives are AA games, AAA polish, and that's what they're going to mass produce, which again, if that's what you do, like for instance, I'm not mad at you even though you have a bigger war chest in them, but what's the name of that studio? Thunderful Games or some shit that, there's a lot of studios that make a lot of AA type games. Okay, fine. I'm not mad at you for that. But now you're trying to charge 70 for them? Like, come on, man. Like, we got to stop this. Okay. Geek says Xbox has to stop cheap contracting out so much work. and build a core team of individuals and pay those folks what they're worth. I mean, the 18-month contracting situation is a problem. It definitely is, because you don't build some cohesiveness, but they just don't have leadership. They don't have good QA. Like, come on, Geek. They reviewed Redfall and thought it would score double digits higher than it did on Metacritic. Like, that goes well beyond the developers. They did internal testing and internal, processing of Redfall and thought it would score double digits higher than what it did. That's everything we need to know about their leadership. The leadership is trash. Geek, they could use you. And I'm not saying that to be smart. Like, so many problems at Xbox. So many. And they're not willing to take the criticism. They're not willing to listen to it. They don't want to hear the criticism. Here's what Xbox needs to do. Instead of Phil going out there, oh, they hate me, oh, and I might not have this job next month. Instead of doing all that fucking whiny shit, what Phil needs to do, and shout out to them. I'm not saying, like, shout out to GeForce Now. You guys know I've been belly aching, bitching about GeForce Now, their need to get mods, right? I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that's been bitching about this. A lot of people, and they see the data, and like, look, I tried to, I hope he don't mind me doing this. Shout out to my brother Nethos. I had a conversation with Nethos not too long ago, because he's like, I'll just say this. Nethos is looking to, rely more on PC. I'll just leave it at that. I'll let him explain his position. So I was just saying, bro, why don't you get NVIDIA GeForce Now and get Ultimate, this, that, I'm showing him clips of me playing this and all this other shit. He's like, no. He's just shooting it down. I'm like, why? Like, bro, this is right up your alley. And you can save you some money. He's like, no. I'd rather build me a PC. I don't care how much it costs. I'm like, why? He said, because I want to play mods. GeForce Now doesn't have mods. And I said, oh, yeah, that is right. So you guys know I've been bitching and moaning and complaining about the mod situation. Now, GeForce Now could have been sitting there like, well, you guys just hate on us, is all hate. No, what do? They've been hearing the complaints. Now they've started a mod program. First it started with World of Warcraft. They've extended it to Baldur's Gate, and they're going to keep expanding it. When we complained at Cloud Dosage about, am I botting again? Cold blood? I'm seeing a weird signal.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay. Let me turn off this. I think it's the Avowed gameplay. When we were when the writers at Cloud Dosage were complaining about GeForce Now, about certain elements, like people, there's a collective of people that think different things. Some of them like xCloud, they think xCloud is great. Some of us that don't feel that way. Like I will admit that today, especially with the addition of Dr. Spaceman, shout out to Dr. Spaceman, there is a true collective of different thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It's truly diverse, and that's what you need to have a good publication, right? So, there's some that love xCloud, some not so much, some that prefer GeForce Now, like myself, and then there's people like Dr. Spaceman. He's all in on PlayStation, right? And what they're doing, and I think that's a great collective. But there's some that weren't totally sold on GeForce Now. They had their issues with it. GeForce Now didn't say F y'all at Cloud Dosage, screw y'all. They said, hold on, let's have a conversation. Let's go over all of your complaints and let's talk about them. It was even to the point to where, senior editors at Cloud Dosage, I won't say the names because I don't know if they want this to be public knowledge. Senior editors at Cloud Dosage, they were in California and they met with people at GeForce Now and they had those conversations and stuff. That's, if you're a video game company or video game, whatever you are. That's what you need to do. You need to embrace the criticism. Now, not all criticism is worth digesting, but embrace it and say, hold on, there's something that got you worked up about what we're doing. Let's hear you out. Let's see how legitimate it is. Not no matter what we do, if Starfield is 11 out of 10, it's not going to sell consoles. Who does that? It's leadership. It's leadership. And I even said at the death of the Xbox platform, essentially, I don't give a damn what anybody says. This motherfucker's dying. Now, not Microsoft Gaming. Microsoft Gaming is fine. But the part that they gave Sarah Bond in charge of, the Xbox platform, it's on IC. It's an ICU. They're just standing by the plug like any moment now. But despite all that, despite all the issues that they might be having there, I was totally for Xbox becoming a publisher because I'm like, yeah, their gaming content may not be compelling enough for you to buy, for you to come to their ecosystem, but if they bring them to you, they might be of interest in time periods like this when there's not a lot out, or people have an itch to scratch about an open world RPG. Here you go. There goes Avowed. Fine, cool. All right, I'm with that. But then you even fuddle that up and you make these games $70. The games, if this is the caliber of content you're going to put out there, not a problem. It's not worth $70. Xbox, stop shooting yourself in the foot. You do it all the time. So he says Lost Odyssey remake and new Banjo-Kazooie for sure would been in development. I agree with Phil Spencer there. The hate for Xbox runs deep, bro. No. the despise of the quality of their games, especially after what people have been used to. Like, come on. We've gone from KOTOR, Mass Effect, BioShock to Sea of Thieves. Halo has pretty much been rendered useless. It's not a hate for Xbox. It's it's a loss of patience. That's what it is. 13 years, bro. People were patient for them to get back to form. People don't realize the only reason why Xbox is around is because of the games that they curated. Nobody said, oh, I gotta have an Xbox because they got a hard drive in their system. Or, oh, I gotta have an Xbox because I get to pay $5 to watch Netflix on it. Oh, I gotta get an Xbox because I broadband. People said those amenities are cool. All that stuff is cool, but it's the games that you guys are bringing over. Not just Halo, but Gears. And like I said, Prey, the original Prey, and Quake 4 when I came out for the 360. Jade Empire, Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR 1 and 2, Mass Effect. You know what I'm saying? 1 and 2 when they were timed exclusives. BioShock, Jesus, you know, like, come on. You go from that to Sea of Thieves? State of Decay 2? All these like AA efforts outside of Gears and Forza and Halo, and even your AAA efforts outside of Forza are mediocre. Gears is just regurgitated. It's like, you know how the mama bird goes and she bites up the worm and she regurgitates it in the chickadee's mouth. That's what Gears feels like now. Halo is just a mess. They've completely eradicated the importance of Halo. Forza's good, but niche, but drivers are niche. You're not selling consoles on that. So yeah, I don't think it's not a hate for PlayStation. It's a loss of patience. People understood first, okay, Don Matrick had to, he messed up PR on the things that he said and how that rollout happened. Okay, and he's gone now. This new guy, Phil Spencer, has to come in and try to rehabilitate the brand. Okay, so, first year doesn't hit. Second year, not hitting. Third year, okay, fourth, fifth, sixth, okay, all right. Seventh, hold on. The Platinum Games, Dragonborn or whatever the hell that's been canceled. 8, 9. Hold on, you got the series, the Xbox One X comes out and you launch it with Phantom Dust and Super Lucky Tales. 9, 10. Okay, the Xbox Series X, the world's most powerful console, comes out and you launch that with the Falconer. 10, 11, 12, 13. Starfield is the game, the most important RPG of a lifetime, and it comes out like this. You see what I'm saying? 13 years people have been patient. And these were people that were attached to Xbox because of the quality that they used to bestow. It's like going to your favorite restaurant. All right, we're under new management. All right, fine. New management got to get down with the recipes to understand how to fry the stuff up. After, you would only give a place like that a year. And you're spending a fraction of the cost at a restaurant than you are in gaming. Now, granted, it takes time for games to be made or whatever, but 12, 13 years for you to put out a banger? Bro. Listen, y'all. Over 13 years, Xbox has not put out one banger. Not one. They happen to own Call of Duty, which prints out money now. You got that from, but they have not developed and put out a banger in 13 years. Where in the previous 2 generations, 360 OG, people were getting multiple bangers a year. Historic bangers. It's just that PlayStation had more games, more bangers. They had the more well-recognized and more cherished franchises. But people talk about the list of Xbox bangers that you were getting every year. It's just PlayStation had more. We're not talking about PlayStation having more bangers and that's why PlayStation is more successful. We are legit talking about Xbox not having a single banger in 12 years. No, Sea of Thieves is not a banger. Like, let me give you an example. A banger is something that.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Forza Horizon 5 a banger?
A banger is something that's not only commercially successful, but is critically successful. It gets to wear both hats.
Wait. Forza Horizon 5 was a 92 on Metacritic.
It wasn't, I don't think it was commercially successful. And it's not because it was a bad game.
Wait. Apparently, it has 20 million people playing it. Yeah?
That played it. And how many Game Pass people are there? And look, it may be a better game than Gran Turismo. I can't tell you because I don't play racers, but I think Gran Turismo sold more, has more sales, from what I understand. Not just players, has more sales. Now, granted, 92 Metacritic shit. Pentiment, is it Pentiment in the 90s or something like that? Like, and again, that's not the most fair comparison, but there has to be commercial success matched with critical acclaim. Xbox doesn't have a banger. Some might argue Ori and the Blind Forest. I don't know how many copies Ori sold. Ori and the Blind Forest might have been the closest they got to a banger. That is critical, top-notch critical success and commercial success.
What about Cuphead? Wait, you're laughing, but I'm serious.
I don't think Cuphead a commercial success. I don't think it was.
I mean,
was
it's
Cuphead's
got a whole
Metacritic?
deal.
Cuphead Metacritic. I mean, it was 86, which that isn't bad at all.
Yeah, but you know why it's 86? Because most of these reviewers couldn't finish it.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, it did get a lot. It did get a lot of high scores from different people. I just, yeah, I don't think. And again, it was only it was like a smaller AA game. I don't think it was. I'm not mad at Cuphead. Definitely not mad at Cuphead. But a banger, was it a system seller? Like bangers are system sellers. They are so commercially successful, they sell your console. In 13 years, Xbox has not had a system seller. We average about one a year from PlayStation. I don't know if in 2024 we had a system seller from PlayStation. Well, what do we get? Well, yeah. It wasn't a first party exclusive, but what's the name? Definitely was a system seller. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth definitely was a system seller, and it got critical acclaim. And it won Game of the Year in a few places. That's a banger. 2023, we already know. What'd you say?
Helldivers didn't sell consoles?
Well, yeah. Helldivers too. Yeah, yep. So they had two, at least two I can think of. Shit, you might even say Wukong, even though that wasn't supposed to be an exclusive. But you see what I'm saying? You get at least one from PlayStation a year. 2023 Spider-Man. 2022, come on. We had multiple in. 2021, Returnal, right? What else did we have in 2021? And Ratchet and Clank. I think we had Ratchet and Clank in 2021, right? 2020, Demon Souls. Like, you get one banger, critically acclaimed, commercially successful game, at least one every year from PlayStation. Imagine dropping at least one on. Go ahead, brother.
Bro, no, Spider-Man Miles Morales was the system seller.
Was a system seller, and hey, it could have been. I would not doubt you at all. You would know better than I. You would know better than I, even though that was cross-platform. But yeah,
Demon Souls was the better game, but Spider-Man just sells.
Spider-Man was just. Well, no. I mean, but I'm saying, they both could have been. It just could have been Miles Morales was the better. You don't think Demon Souls pushed consoles?
I don't think it sold as much as it should have. Definitely didn't make no Elden Ring numbers. That much I can tell you.
Hell no. Well, yeah, that was early on in the generation too, and it was only on PlayStation 5, so that's what was going to limit its reach. Yeah, but you get at least one. One system gives you one banger a year at least. The other one has given you nothing. I mean, I'm not saying they haven't given you good games. I'm just talking strictly bangers. They haven't given you one banger in 12 or 13 years. Really longer if you consider when Phil took over during the 360 era. So a lot to think about, and that's what I think. It's just, I don't want to say disgust. It's a repudiation of all these accolades that Phil gets. For what? For what? All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. Cold Blood, did you have any final thoughts before we got up out of here?
No.
Cree86 says if Phil had to he said if Phil Spencer had to show results every 18 months, he would be better. Yeah, that's the problem. You can't make games, Cree, and not manage for results. And simply put, Satya Nadella is not a good CEO to be over games, for one. But for two, because if you look at in the past, Xbox in the past, Bill Gates, even though he wasn't big on video games, he learned what it meant to be over video games. He went and did the research. It got to a point to where BioShock, he was instrumental. He did it like a Yoshida. He picked out Kevin Levine's BioShock and said, you know what? This is going to be it. And Kevin Levine tells you, when everybody else turned him down, turned their nose at him, it was Bill Gates that looked at the game and said, no, I think this is going to be awesome. And help make that game come to fruition. And the rest is history. So, all right, we're going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Till next time, you have a wonderful gaming day. And yes, I am going to just give it a few moments for members. Now, matter of fact, let me do it now before we get out of here. Let me make the video live for members. I don't have a thumbnail for it yet, so you have to excuse me. Let's see here. Switch account. Yes. We're going to do this for you now. No, why did I switch account? There was no need to switch to studio. And now we're going to content and we're going to go to, I don't know what, it was a video. Huh. That's weird. Why I can't find the video? Huh. Oh, here it goes. Okay. All right. Damn. YouTube, you're so fucking goofy. Okay. All right. So what you're going to want to do is hit that members button. I'm going to make this live tomorrow. Hit that members button and join at the Homie level. That's at the $3.99 level, and get access to no. They didn't do this right. Homie 2 p.m. Get access to all these videos at the Homie level at $3.99. We do a video every Monday through Friday, and our Friday videos are always members first. We also got Avowed, my first little gameplay, so you get to see that all the way. We're gonna have some more coming. But that video is now out there. Let me put it in the chat. Shuhei PS interview video. All right, there you go. So for you PlayStation defenders, go ahead and weep. There you go. Check out the video. It's live now. Until next time, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.